What's up, guys? Chilling with Bernie on an extraordinarily warm night at the end of October. It's still actually like 70 degrees out here. 70 degrees at 9 o'clock in California. Crazy our Indian summers. Right, Bernie? Someday that guy's going to talk to me. Don't know why he never. Someday he's going to chime in. I know it. What's up, Pete? Person. I was going to say people, but evidently I have one person, so. I guess person is more personable than people because I have one person in the house at the moment. Don't worry. Don't worry. People usually, people usually find me eventually. I'm usually the last place they look, but when all else fails, they find Seneca's Bass somehow. I'm like, I'm like the party after the club. They get all the other stuff, out of the way, and then, oh, person dropped out. Wow, that little bar went away. Little bar went away in the bottom. That's cool. Well, it said I had one person in here. So what? Sorry. Am I the only one that can hear him? Because he talks to me all the time while I'm talking. I guess I'm the only one that can talk to like the spirit world. First, I'm first. Yeah, evidently you're first. You're first and the only one. More than first. You're the one and only. I was just talking to Bernie the whole time. Man, you gotta eat more. You're looking pretty skinny. Bernie thinks he can get me in trouble eventually. Especially if he actually starts talking. Then I'm just gonna be on here with nobody watching, and I'm just gonna be talking to. I'm be talking to Bernie the whole time. I did that the other day. Evidently, I came in, I went live. It didn't tell me anyone was live. Didn't tell me anybody was in the chat. And for like like 12 minutes or something, I was just talking to Bernie. it's, it's, suddenly somebody came in the live stream, came on the panel, and they're like, "There's a bunch of people in here. We've been laughing at you. You can't tell we're here." And I went, "No, this, the stream doesn't tell me. The stream says nobody's here, and I've had no comments. I had to back out and come back in, and all of a sudden I had like 15 comments, all kinds of people in here, and I'm like, sorry guys, corn farts. I'm on break at work. Dude, I think every single time I go live, you're at work. You work too much, man. This guy right here, he's like, you got to be a millionaire. You work so much. You're a baller, aren't you, Corn Farts? He's a baller. He's a money making machine, right? At the bar. Well, even better if you're at the bar. If you work at a bar, yeah, dude. What, $200-300 a night in tips? I know why a lot of people are work at bars. What? Do you work at the bar, or you just leave work to go to the bar? Because that'd be really sad if you left work for a break and you were at a bar. Might not be the best thing. I'm on break at the bar. Oh yeah, so you are a baller. I've known tons and tons of bartenders in my life. They rake in the money. Hey, DeRosa Show LLC. Uh, new in the house, right there, guys. I love that feature on StreamYards. I just love the fact you can highlight somebody's comment. Not much. Just got back from another failed attempt to catch Hitch at freaking El Estero. I go to the catch cart, but the hitch been hidden. I cannot figure out how to catch those freaking fish for my life. I went to corn. I went to Brad. I went to smaller hooks. I went to every freaking way I can figure out how to catch those little freaking fish. And I mean, I loved it. The carp rating. The carp are much easier, but I don't know. I guess that's why a lot of people don't fish for Sacramento Hitch because they're an incredibly hard freaking fish to catch. Let me tell you. I have no idea what's up with the way they eat, but I don't get it. Mugsy, Mugsy. He must be talking about you. Make your team nasty. Am I gonna have to do a shirt just for you, corn farts? If I end up making, I'm gonna have to make up a shirt that says "Corn farts loves me" or "Corn farts gotta love it." Oh, that's how you do. How you do like limited edition custom CCB shirts. That's how they put my merch on. Allows you to sell for a limited time. That'd be fun. I just gave myself a new idea. Yes, please. No, you guys just gave me a good idea. It's always you guys when I'm live that I come up with these ideas. Yeah, I could do limited edition CCB crew shirts for you guys, like Muggsy. No, I'll pass. I didn't even see you in here. I was like, why is he talking about Muggsy? I haven't even seen him. I get paid next week. No, I should. That's gonna be a new thing. Well, gotta go back to work. All right, all right, all right, Corn. Thanks for the idea, though. I didn't even think of that. That's a really freaking bitchin' idea. Limited run CCB cruise shirts. Oh, Smelly Shelly. Smelly Shelly's in the house. I don't know it. I've had like 4 or 5 people in the chat, and it's only telling me I have 2 people on. I'm like, it. Yeah. Well, no, it still says 2, but I've had like 4 people in the chat at once. Hey, Smelly. Yeah, I don't know. That's really weird because I said we've had like 5 people in the chat, and it's never said more than 2 people. I'm at karaoke and drinking. Well, nice. I'm on my porch and drinking. I'm here with Bernie. Bernie, my main man. I just came up with a new shirt idea though. Limited run. Who is this?
Hey man,
Hey,
how's it going, bro?
good.
Bro,
You're new.
am I allowed to swear on this channel?
Me? Yeah, sure.
Am
I
I
mean,
allowed to swear?
but not excessively. I mean, come on.
All right, okay. Well, I'm fully, I'm totally gone, man. I'm screwed. I'm totally screwed, you know.
What about what?
No, I've done, I've been up for like 2, 3 days. You know, man, I've done too much.
Really?
And, so I was up all night last night and I said to myself, well, if I can just, I'll stay awake during the drift off nicely at a reasonable time. And now I look at the clock and it's 17 minutes past 5 a.m. And I'm like, damn, I've done it again.
And where are you? No, I
What,
mean
like,
not physically, mentally, but I mean, where are you? You got an accent, obviously.
oh, yeah, oh, England, London, England.
Okay, okay. Just checking in.
I know what you were thinking. Like, let me just clarify. It's either Australia or England. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, no, yeah, I have a friend Bryce that comes in that's from New Zealand, and another friend that comes in that's from Australia. So, well, we got Smelly in here
I
too.
see you're ready for Halloween.
Wait,
Hi
what?
guys, how are you? I'm not
Good.
I
staying
see
long. I
you're
gotta go sing a
ready
song. How is everybody?
You're in karaoke. That's right.
I'm at karaoke.
You're in
Yeah,
karaoke.
I'm at karaoke. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just sang The Beatles Come Together. That's my signature song. I sing it very well. Who's that in there? Tower 1 Power? Tower 1 Power. Oh.
Yeah, he's
Hello.
Hey, how
totally
are
new.
you? Central Coast, how you doing?
Good. How are you? Well, I
I'm
mean,
good. I
obviously
saw
you're
you
having a great
fishing
time.
today. I saw you fishing. I didn't comment. I was lurking. I do that a lot.
You were a lurker.
Yeah, you know what it is?
Oh,
Sometimes I
bass.
can't
I
like
thought it was
really read
bass,
the
but it's
chat. I'm
bass.
busy. So
Bass.
what was that?
He just realized that I'm a fishing show, not a guitar show.
Yeah, I thought
Okay.
it said bass, but now I realised, yeah, bass, like the fish or whatever.
But okay, here's the funny thing. I'm actually a renowned, known 80s alternative DJ too.
80s alternate DJ?
Yeah, yeah. I had
Alternate for who?
no alternative. Alternative. 80s.
Alternative.
Darker
I
80s.
got you. So
Had
that's
my
like
own,
what, Depeche Mode type shit, right?
yeah, that sort of thing. Had my
I
own
got
night
you. I
for
got you. I got you. I feel you.
had my own night for years, and then I DJ'd in San Francisco when I was up there for a while. So it's kind of funny that he came in and he thought it was music. And anyway, it's fishing. I'm actually huge into music.
You know what he does on this channel? He fishes
Well,
for
you have
compliments.
kind of got the room set up like a nightclub with all the lights and stuff.
What? What?
She's at a nightclub right now. I gave her this
No,
way.
I'm at a bar. I live here in Southbridge. You've seen me from my balcony. This bar is actually, it's called TJ Burns. It's actually right downstairs from my house.
Oh God, that's
So
a
She's
bad
in New York.
recipe.
I don't have to worry about drinking and driving.
Nice.
I had a double of Jack when I got here, and I'm on my second Corona. So that's not so bad. Once upon a time, I'd be on like my fifth double of Jack Daniels. But
It's
not
always been my
today.
dream to live next to a pub or an off license, something like that, a liquor
Oh
store.
my God, I have like six of them. I'm downtown Manhattan, so I have many pubs. Let's see if we can see what I got
Yeah, she's downtown New York.
here.
Where's
Yeah,
the
you
club
can't
scene?
see the Freedom Tower from here because I'm like
I
down
can
low.
hear it. I can hear it in the voice. She's got the Cardi B accent. Well, no,
I
I'm
got the
joking.
what accent?
No, you haven't.
I got
You
the
haven't.
Italian
You
Bronx
actually
accent.
haven't. You don't
Quarters.
sound like I'm joking.
You got a quarter. You got.
Quarters.
There used to be a homeless guy that lived in my neighborhood back when I was in the Bronx, and his name was Leo. And we used to always ask him, "Excuse me, are those bugle boys you were wearing?" It was a commercial back in the day, and he always had like piss and shit in them. Sorry for cursing, but anyway, he was just like he was,
Quarters.
and always drunk. And he used to look at you and go, "You got a quarter?
You got a quarter?
You got a." He never asked for more than a quarter,
Yeah.
but
You got a
he
quarter?
always wanted like, "What are you gonna do with a quarter?" Even back then, you couldn't do nothing with a quarter.
Yeah, but he asked 1,000 people a day for a quarter.
Oh yeah. Listen, well, I don't know if he could say that 1,000 times in a day, but oh God, you fucking asshole! Sorry, I'm sorry, guys. It was a monster.
And you were talking.
I'm very afraid of water bugs, and I just saw one, and it scared the living bejesus out of me.
And he was.
Christ. This girl sounds so much like that guy Bill Burr. It's unreal.
I sound like who?
He was
Bill
asking about
Burr.
swearing in the stream, and that's what's so funny.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean
She
to. I got
comes
scared.
in
I saw the monster.
and she's a potty mouth.
I'm a filthy animal, potty mouth. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. But you know who I get told I sound like a lot? What's her name? Leah Remini, the one from King of Queens. People say I remind them of her a lot. Freaking scurvy water bugs. I wish I could show it to you. They're big. Oh my God, they're so big and so nasty. And they fly and they're this big. All right, I gotta go sing another song. I'm gonna sing Phil Collins, Another Day in Paradise, I think. What do you think?
Hello.
Or I could do Stevie Nicks, maybe. Maybe I'll do Stevie Nicks.
Are you taking us in there and singing it?
No, I
Or
can't take you in there. That's a copyright infringement.
true.
Can't do it. I'll come back till after. Well, I won't come back on the stream, but I just want to say hi. Hi, guys.
All right.
Hi, you guys. Is this?
Hi.
Hey, you guys. Is this?
Why
All right.
use New Yorkers?
Do I got broccoli in my teeth? I had broccoli
No.
tonight.
You got
Anyway.
a quarter?
You got a quarter?
You got a quarter?
I got a quarter ounce. No.
Yeah, there
All right,
you go.
listen, guys. I'm going. I'll see you
All right.
later. Central Coast Bass. Thank you. You're a
Oh,
gracious
you're
host. Smash that thumbs up for the Central Coast Bass, man.
Yeah. All of the one
Bye.
people it shows at the moment.
Christ,
Okay,
man.
so
She's
so
energized.
where did you find me?
Do you know what? You literally just, I don't know why, but you just came up in my, I'm on an iPad, and it just came up in my recommended feed. And
Really?
because it said live, because it has the little red thing there, so it just like caught my eye more than anything else. I just clicked on it. I just clicked the link, man. I wouldn't normally do this, about,
That's random and odd, but and it's funny that you thought it was like, well, if I don't know what thumbnail is, but obviously me
I
on my
thought it said,
porch.
yeah,
I wait.
Central Coast base. I don't know. Yeah, I should have.
Base. You thought it was
I mean.
base? Oh, Pizza
Yeah.
Man came in and he gave me a super chat. Thank you, Pizza Man.
That's enough for one slice of pizza.
That's cool though. I mean, I love meeting people from new places. I was just like, I mean, but you've been up forever, obviously.
Man, oh God, you see, remember that girl just now? She said, "Oh, I've got a quarter ounce." Well, I had a quarter ounce like 2 days ago. Now I don't know where I got a little. I don't know, maybe a G or two left. I don't know, man. But I've been on. Oh shit, this is live on YouTube, isn't it? Oh God, I need to watch it. Yeah, you know,
No, that's fine.
you can probably
Just,
guess what
just
drug
know.
I've done. You can guess what drug I've done.
Well, I don't want to guess. I'm assuming it's fun stuff.
Well, if you've been a DJ and stuff, man, you're not like, you're
No, I
worldly.
actually I've been around it all, but I've never
Yeah,
beer and
fair
pots.
enough. I can understand,
Yeah.
but I mean, you've been exposed to it like other people,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never done anything but beer and pot. I've
So
seen it.
what was your like DJ name then?
Huh?
What was your DJ name?
I didn't really have a name.
But I thought you said you were like a big, like kind of big DJ.
Yeah, but I never had a DJ name. I was just Scott, DJ Scott. I wasn't. I never had a
Oh,
name.
okay.
My friend, my friend came up with the name Disco Scotty. Although I never
Yeah.
played disco, but he nicknamed me
But
that. He was
was that
another.
your main? Was that your full-time job at one point, like DJing?
No, I just said no. It was just a side job. I had my own clothing store. Actually, I'm a designed and made my own clothing.
Oh, okay. So you were, to be honest, if you're honest, then you're exaggerating a little bit. The DJ and this, like how big? Because I thought, I don't know, maybe I misheard, but I thought, because when you said that, I was thinking, I was going to ask you, like, oh, damn, have you got your name on like records and stuff like that? I was
No,
thinking
no,
like
but I mean,
Paul Oakenfold and people like that.
no, but the night I had, as far as here in California and that, and the club and that, and it was a huge. I mean, people knew me from like the whole state and that because
Right,
this
yeah.
club had people that always came, and the club the night I took over had been going
It
on
was
for
probably
15
before the
years.
time when DJs started, giving themselves names and all that. Maybe I don't, do you know what I mean? A different time anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I never did it. I never made it as full time job. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just I know music. I've always since the '80s gone to clubs and known
yeah,
people who are in local bands and everything else, and just have incredible knowledge of a lot of that underground, different club type music and 12 inches,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
just
yeah.
happened that I ended up getting given this night because they were the only person they knew
Can you?
that knew the music. And I'd never DJ'd before. I've been in, my friends were all DJs. I hang out in the DJ booth and all that, but I'd never mixed it myself. What's up, man? I can't hear you. You're glitching. You've locked up, man. What's up? What's up? Okay. Are you back now? You're
Yeah,
still
sorry
in.
about that, bro.
No, you're
It's
still in
a
the old.
little.
You should disappear. No, no, I've been. Yeah, no, I've known a lot of people that are music people, and actually talked to the lead singer of the Cult. Met him and talked to him for a while, and I DJ'd for the Frozen Film Festival, which is
Oh,
actually
really? Okay.
now a pretty big film festival in San Francisco. And
Okay. Yeah.
I knew the two guys that started it, and I was the host DJ for both of their. I think for their first, it was either the first 2 years or 3 years. All their events they had me in as the DJ.
Do you like a pretty wide spectrum of different musical genres, or?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm mostly 80s, but I would always mix in the sounds that like when the ska stuff and like rockabilly and
Oh yeah, nice, nice, love it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but
Because
I
the
would
more
mix
up tempo, like primal beats, like
right, but I would mix in like where they got their influence with the music that came generations before them that had the
right,
same
yeah,
kind of sound. So I would play the 80s stuff and then I would pick something that might be like from the 40s or from the 50s or something. And then later on I got into the whole I actually have 12 songs I made myself, but they're all sort of the house and beat, the house
yeah,
and the techno-y side of it. I
yeah.
learned that when I went to San Francisco. And I actually made some of my own songs that are kind of, I guess you would call them
What
like
was that
house
song where
beats.
they reckon like there was this one little section of it where there was like a little drum beat where that became the people made a loop of it and it became the
Yeah,
genesis for drum and bass and so many things. Was it
yeah,
called like
drum and bass and house and beat.
what was it called that little what song was it from? Like damn, I used to know it's like a
Yeah, I forget it. But see, I was at the clubs when remember I don't know if they still do it. This was back in like 2005, 2008. But when you went to the techno clubs, you had the drummers, you had the
or
bongo
actual live
players and
drummers.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, oh yeah.
they would. Yeah, they would be in the club and they would do their beats in that within the song that was playing. And I don't know, it was kind of a weird thing. But you would go to a club that was had the house and the beats and
Because in
those
the
guys were there
eighties,
with
it
their
was
bongo.
like that was just when synthesized sounds were only just they were a totally new thing in the eighties, weren't
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, if you go to like Depeche Mode and New Order and actually I'm a fan of the Monkees. I have like all the Monkees albums.
they? Oh yeah, they were
And
like the sixties, right? I
yeah,
can't
but
find this
the
fucking lighter
Monkees,
anywhere, man. Where's this fucking lighter? I had a lighter like right here, man. It's fucking gone.
yeah, you just had it. I saw you.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's so annoying, man. Yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it. Jesus Christ, man.
No, but
Fuck.
the Monkees had actually one of the first synthesizers on the West Coast in the United States. And towards the end of it in the
But
early
what
80s,
could you?
song
You could program like one
they had a
sound
couple
or
songs.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but they had one of the very first synthesizers, and it's in some of the Mickey Dolenz songs that the Monkees did, like kind of right towards the end of their breakup. And that he was using
Right.
this synthesizer that was like the new music,
That makes
and that
sense
'80s was all.
because weren't the monkeys like? It's probably not true, but I heard before the monkeys were apparently like the first kind of as they called it like a manufactured band. That can't be true. There
Yeah,
must have been
yeah, they
others. You
were.
know what I mean? They were.
Yeah, they
Oh,
were.
fair enough. I would have thought there must have been loads of it's there must have been loads of them. Like because it's all just
Yeah,
like producers and
yeah, they
stuff
were.
going to clubs and stuff, seeing a singer they like and thinking, yeah, I want him on my record.
Yeah, well, actually, the other thing I know, Michael Nesmith lives here in Monterey, where I live. And back in the '80s when I moved here, I met him. I was at a prom he was at.
Monterey, is that California or where's that?
Yeah, Monterey, California. That's where I am
Nice,
right.
nice, man, nice, nice.
But guess who? Guess who discovered? God, I can't think of his name now. God, I just went blank on it. The guitar player, the black guy, the one that died early,
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. They actually, as far as I've had it, because I collect their albums and what their albums they were talking about it, they discovered him and saw him, and they
Yeah,
introduced him to the Monterey Jazz Festival and got him
that,
into the Monterey Jazz Festival back in the '60s.
what? And
And
that was the
that's
first thing that made him famous. Yeah.
yeah, and that was the first thing that got him discovered. And it
If
was
you had
actually
to
the
pick three artists or bands Like if you're gonna go, to a desert island and you could only have 3 albums or something like that, what would they be?
Oh yeah, okay, that's a tough one. Something that I could only listen to for the rest of my life, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
listen to it every day, but it's the only thing you'll have access to.
That's a tough one. It would be something more
It'd have to be a compilation album from like, now 69 or some shit like that. A pop
well, no, I
compilation.
think it would have to be sort of I'd have to have something that was sort of acoustical and sort of mellowy. And I think I'd have to have something that was sort of upbeat and dancey.
What's
And
the name
then
of that band that made that song White Rabbit? Jefferson Aeroplane. They sound like a
oh yeah,
candidate, maybe.
I'm talking maybe like Stone Roses for one.
Queen, because Queen's got it all.
Oh
It's
yeah.
from opera to like rock.
Yeah. No, but I don't know. I would have to have something that was sort of I don't know. Something that was kind of mellow, something that was kind of dark and deep, and something that was
You
sort
could
of
just cut your own dub plate in it and just take
damn.
that.
Huh?
You could just cut your own dub plate onto a 12-inch and take that along with whatever you
Yeah.
want on.
Yeah. Yeah, that could do it. I don't know. I just love, I mean, as far as music, I have such a big range.
Oh, have you heard of a DJ? He's like a reggae DJ. His name's David Rodigan.
No.
Oh, gutted. I'm
My
gutted.
big one, have you ever heard of Scooter and Lavelle?
Scooter, yeah. Well, I've heard Scooter. It's like, techno music, yeah.
No, it's Meshup.
Mesha. I don't know what that is.
That's when they do like they'll do like a Depeche Mode song or a Cure song but
Oh, really? What, they like part of the production of those
they
songs?
mix it up. It's Scooter and Lavelle. It's two DJs. They have 4 turntables, and one guy
Right.
pretty much does more of the beat stuff, and the other guy does the mixing and the vocals.
Oh, so they weren't involved in like any of the original Cure recordings, but like they've done adaptations of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they have all the beats on
Okay.
record where it's
Oh, like the instrumentals and okay.
yeah, and then they mix it themselves and they add other beats into it. And the one guy does the scratching and does the um I saw him actually. I got invited to a VIP in San Francisco and I got invited to a after club that was actually in an automotive place, but they had a club upstairs that was an
Okay.
after hours club. And I
Or
got
is it
invited
like
to
a
it and I got to
work,
sit right
work
in front
event?
of it. Yeah, they're still on. I mean, you could look, they're still to this day. This was back in like 2010. They're
Okay.
still this day and they have, but I mean, the album I got from that night, they remix like Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics.
Sweet dreams
They
are
do,
made of these.
oh yeah, but their mixing of it is just freaking, I mean, it's, it's totally amazing. And they did that one. What's that one? Actually, all this. Oh, they do Mr. Roboto. That's one of the remixes they do in the one I have. And they do that one. Uh, that one and the two and the three. You know that song. Everybody in the club give tips.
Oh,
And the one
yeah.
everybody in the club give. I
I
don't
can't
even.
think of his name, but I know
Yeah. But they redo
Little
that one.
John or shit like that.
Yeah, but it's like 5 times the speed. It's like everybody in the club give tips, and the one and the two and the three, and then they have the beats under it, and
Oh, I
yeah,
don't know,
it's
man.
just
If you play that, everyone in the club get tipsy. That's always like a pull-up moment in the club. Like everyone goes nuts for that, right?
yeah.
But
But
I
I
don't
have
know, playing
one.
it
The
five
one I
times
have.
over, five
The
times
one I
speed. So,
have is called. It was a promotional CD that was given to me. It's called. They were live at the. I think it's called Live at the Hot Box or something, and it was a live recording of their like 20, 30 minute set that they do at the club. and
Yeah.
it's all them mixing and transitioning from one song to the other and to the other and to the other. It's just, and then we get to see him live. Like he mixed like they did a remix of Personal Jesus, and I was just like, I mean, I'm an '80s DJ and I know all the mixes of that, but listening to them do it and watching him live and how quick he works those two, the guy that's the mixer that
Yeah.
works those two turntables and hits all these buttons and turns the knobs up and down and hits the all Jesus Jesus and watching him just like it's so amazing like to watch the
Yeah,
fact.
it's like an artist at work. Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, but it's called Mesh Up.
Okay. What
When
was
they
your
were
opinion on, like, didn't you find it a bit fascinating how, remember dubstep? Wasn't that crazy? Because, like, it came in and out like that. And there's never been a genre of music that's just come in and out within a space of like 3, 4 years. But that was the case with dubstep, right? It just came in
yeah
and then
I
went.
what was that? I recognize I recognize what dubstep or what was it?
Oh, I'm not sure I have the technical musical language to describe it. God, I don't know how many BPMs it was, or God, I don't really have the
But I
technical
recognize that
vocabulary.
terminology for a style of music.
Hi guys,
All right, she's back. What
I'm
did you
back.
say?
I sang a Phil Collins song and I sang All in the Family theme song. I do Edith Bunker. I do an excellent Edith Bunker. Songs that
New
made the
York,
hit
lock up your son
parade.
because Smelly
That
Michelle
is
is
good.
out on the town.
It is good, right? I'm sorry,
That
what'd you
sound
say, Tower Powell?
I said, New York, lock up your sons because you're out on the town.
I'm out on the town. I'm downstairs from my house, but you know, I like it though. It's right downstairs, right? I mean, you can't beat that
Oh,
shit,
that is a really good Edith Bunker though.
right?
That is
G.R.O. was so great.
that's
Those
like
were the days.
that's so good.
Mister, we could use a man like you around town.
That
I
sounds
love
just
it.
like her.
are you
Hey,
in
how
the
are you,
fucking? Are
Thomas?
you in
How's
the
it going?
fucking Bronx? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Are you in the Bronx?
No, I'm in downtown. I'm downtown Manhattan. I'm from in New York. I'm from the Bronx. I was actually born in Washington State. You want to hear my? I'll give you a brief summary of shit. My mother took off when she was a teenager, and she went to pick oranges with the migrants in Florida. We're Italian, but that's what she decided to do. And she hitchhiked to Florida with $40 and a teddy bear to Florida and she got a ride with, I don't know, but that's another story. Anyway, she got to Florida and met my father, and I was conceived under the orange tree, right? In Florida. And
Oh
then,
my God! The whole time you're telling this story,
wait,
I thought this was like
then,
something that happened when you were already like a child, like you were
no,
alive and
wait,
your mum
then the
took off.
season,
But
listen, it
this
gets
was the
better.
story your mum told you about how you were
No, no,
conceived.
no, this is true shit. This is true shit. Then my mother
Forget
the
about
weather
it.
changed, so they went to pick apples in Washington State. So I was conceived under the orange tree and born under the apple tree in Washington State. I was born in Washington State, believe it or not. And I lived all over the country growing up. And because my mother was just, I don't know, half a hippie. I don't know, half a hippie kaye, mofo.
The American Gypsy.
Isn't that a great story?
Yeah,
Conceived under the orange tree, born under the apple tree.
born under the apple tree.
Literally, the hospital was across the street from the apple tree.
Yeah,
You're
only
like the
Smelly
modern
could
day
come up
Mark
with that.
Twain, right?
What was that?
Oh, your mum sounds like the modern day Mark Twain.
Oh, my mother is like, no, my mother was just, see, the difference between me and her is I'm not, I'm nuts in her. She's just nuts. I'm just, I'm a fun nuts. I'm a fun nuts. She's a different type of nuts. I'm
She's
a
a
good
crazy
parent.
nut.
I was a good parent to my kids. I do good by my family. She's just that shit crazy, that woman. She is. That's
So
okay.
basically, you
Whatever.
live like where Sex and the City was set, yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know the TV series, like the TV show
Sex
Sex
in
and
the
the City.
City. Yeah, that wasn't that. Where was that? I don't know where that was. New York City,
Manhattan.
yeah, Manhattan. Yeah, but that was
Yeah.
like Fifth Avenue. That was like more like Midtown, Fifth Avenue, and like over there.
She's getting all technical on us now.
Well, you know
Oh,
what it is? I'm in the financial district. I'm by Wall Street. I'm right by. I was here 9/11. I'm right, literally,
Yeah,
like I could
remember
walk
that.
to the Freedom Tower right now in like minutes.
damn. How
Like
old
it
were
would
you
probably
when
take
that
me about four minutes to walk there.
How old were you when that happened? 9/11.
I was it was how long ago was that? It's 2019, 18 years ago. I was a lot younger than I am now.
But what I mean is, were
I'm
you like
44 now.
old enough
I'm
to remember
44.
it? Like,
My youngest
okay,
daughter was
oh,
my youngest daughter was one.
did you witness it? Like, were you
Yeah,
there
she
in
saw it
I
all.
was on I was on my terrace, and Central Coast, as you know, my terrace faces it.
Yeah,
So I
you
was on
told
the
us.
phone with my grandfather when the first plane hit, and it took me a second to process like what happened. And I'm like, holy shit, they're blowing up the World Trade Center. And then I'm sitting there and like what seemed like, I don't know, like I have a second, and the second plane came, but it came from that direction, which is New Jersey, and came this way toward me,
Yeah.
and it hit the building. And when the second plane hit, the explosion came this way toward me, like, and my hair literally went whoosh, and I felt the heat on my face because I'm on the 23rd floor of my building
seriously?
facing it.
Fuck. Wow.
Yeah.
I watched people jump. I have not been the same since, but I don't think any of us in the world have been the same since. But it's a little different when you're
Yeah.
actually here. But thank God, I'm glad to say everyone I know, I knew I could name at least 50 people that work in those buildings that I'm friends with, or at least know for a very long time. I might not hang out with, but every one of them made it out.
Wow.
I have a friend, Nicole, who actually was on the 81st floor of Tower One, and the wing of the plane was in her office. She was one of three people that made it out of her group of that floor, one of three people. And
What?
we went
Not
to
much
after,
faster.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm just replying to the comments.
Oh, so what had happened, we went to, I left here. I took my daughter, put her in the stroller. We went to Chinatown to my mother-in-law's school where she works. And then we went to Spring Street to my husband's grandmother's house because we couldn't really get back in. It was crazy. It was a war zone down here. So we're standing there, and her family was outside the building because her family lived in the same building as my husband's grandmother. And she was standing, and her family was outside the building crying, like, did she make it out? All of a sudden, you see this girl come, and all you see is a girl covered like in like just ash. So it's just like white, and all you see is like streams of like from tears down her face with blood, and her feet, bare feet covered in blood.
Hmm.
She got to the building, and her family just grabbed her. Like I got goosebumps all over the place. Okay, in
It
places I
sounds
didn't know
like
I had it.
you remember it like it was yesterday. To be
But
frank.
yeah, you know what's sad though? Her life went to like she really just went to shit after that, and it's sad because. And I talked to her one day, and I was like, "Don't you feel like look what you survived?" You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
know it's easier said than done, but don't you feel you have some type of purpose in life? But I'm glad to say I think she's been clean for like 2 years now.
Thank God
Oh,
for that.
I relapsed after 9/11. I relapsed. I had been clean
Oh,
for five years. I relapsed after 9/11. I was fucked up for about 2 years, and then I've been clean since. So,
well, I can't blame you, man.
with
That
the
was a
exception, I
horrific
mean,
event.
other things.
It was horrific enough for people that just watched it on TV, man. I can't
exactly.
imagine what it'd be like if
Yeah,
that's your home city. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus,
We
yeah.
can I
live in
It's
the
ask you a
city.
question,
you know what it is too.
Michelle?
For the next 6 months, there was tanks. It was crazy down here. There
Can I
was
ask you a
tanks rolling
question?
down the street.
Can I ask you a question,
Sure,
please?
sure.
Uh, as like, because you're a New Yorker, yeah. So like, on the average Friday, Saturday night, when in like people are out in bars and stuff, and like, and people go outside to smoke, does it still
Yeah.
come up like very commonly, like in conversation? Like, is it still very much in
Um,
like the public
you
consciousness? People
know what?
remember it. When they've
It
had a drink.
depends. It depends. It depends. Like tonight here in this karaoke thing, there's a lot of college kids. You
Yeah,
know, so it depends. It does and it doesn't. It doesn't. I try not to bring it up. It comes up a lot on YouTube because people see where I live. Um,
Oh,
among
really?
it's
people,
actually
your
therapeutic for me.
generation and all of that kind of stuff, would
Yeah,
it come up? Is
but
it kind of
a lot of
do
these
people
kids, they
engage
don't
with it, or do
remember
they?
it.
Is it like a no go kind of thing? Is it like a buzz killer, or what? Is
It's
it?
not. It's not. You know, I will say this though. I just made it down to the Freedom Tower memorial for the first time, I think 2 years ago since it happened. I still haven't gone up in the new building. I haven't gone to the museum. I don't think I can go do the museum.
Do you think it was a side job?
I'm
Callie,
sorry.
yes. Wait. I gotta respond to chat, guys.
Go
I'll be
ahead. I'm
live
sorry.
tomorrow. I'll be live fishing tomorrow the next day, Callie.
Yes.
I'll be
Extreme action fish.
Big Worm, forget about it.
Yeah, I know. You just saw that now. You put that on when you came back on.
I just saw it now. Let me tell you, because I sometimes the chat shows up, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sing another song.
All right, you're going back in.
I'm going back in, dudes. I'm going back in.
Go rock it, girl. Go
I'm gonna
rock
go, and then you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go get a freaking panini.
it. Ooh.
'Cause I like paninis. Paninis are delicious. All right. Bye again, guys.
All
Thank
right.
you. Bye bye.
You're welcome. Yeah, I have you in here randomly, and yeah, she showed up randomly.
Jesus Christ, they don't know if go on, do they? They never stop, do they? Go.
Yeah. No, I mean, I said I am a fishing channel, but my panels, what I love about my panels is like it goes everywhere. It's kind of cool. I mean, like I said, I've been a DJ. I had my own clothing store. I have a fishing show.
You
I've done a
still
lot of
attract the
stuff.
cool people.
Yeah, and usually anybody that comes in, we have something to talk about because I've had a pretty eclectic life. So
You're a man of the world. Yeah.
yeah, I can talk clubs, I can talk fashion, I can talk fishing, I can talk like computers and editing, I can talk photography. I can pretty much, we just don't talk politics or religion. That's the one thing we don't do on my show because it always seems to lead to arguments.
Yeah, no, you're right.
No matter
Especially
what.
these days, it's a no go. The fucked up thing is, like, 5 years ago, no one was really interested in it, and now, so it wouldn't really.
Yeah,
Well, even then, it's always it's always problematic, to be honest, talking about
it
politics,
is.
isn't it? People are feel very strongly about it, and all that.
Yeah, and I
But,
just
but
found,
some people feel strongly. Like have you never had a moment where someone actually you can feel the hate if you tell someone you don't like a particular song or something that they really like, and they kind of even you must have felt like I've been guilty of it myself. You kind of you try to show someone a piece of music you really like and they don't like it. You're like, what? Oh, you feel like what is wrong with you? You're like, you
yeah,
fucking. Do you know what I mean? We're all guilty of
yeah.
it.
But usually when you go into politics or religion, it's even more like
Oh yeah, yeah.
amped
Of
up.
course.
It's like, yeah, they get freaking batshit crazy. You're just like, dude,
Well,
I
do
don't
you
really follow
do you vote?
politics.
Have you ever voted?
Nope,
Would you
nope.
ever vote?
No, I'm actually 53 years old and I've never voted.
I think I voted like twice in my life.
Yeah, I don't trust him. I don't believe in him. So I figure it'll all work itself out.
Well, there's not much choice in America. There's literally two choices, and that's it. And
For us here, yeah, it's just that's all we have. I mean, it comes down to two choices.
a douche and a turd sandwich.
I know exactly. And look what happened here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. But in a strange kind of way, Trump. It's almost he's like a president from like a movie. Do you know what I mean? Like an action movie from like the
Exactly.
'90s or something. You know what I mean? In that sense, it kind of, as an outsider, it kind of he doesn't
I
look
know.
that out of place as the president of America, but
I said I think we need a comedian as the president next.
but but they never take anything seriously. They're like, I don't know if that.
No, it's that one guy. Who's that one? We have that one. He was a really good
Bill
comedian.
Burr. If Bill Burr was president, that would be good because he don't take no shit.
No, but we had that one. Who is he? God, I can't remember.
Is he
He's a
black,
really,
white?
really good. He's a white guy, older white guy, but he's a
Is he
really good
alive? Is he
comedian. Then
dead?
he became. No, he's still alive, but he was a congressman and that, and then he had like some sex scandal when all that sex scandal stuff was going out, and then he like dropped out and God, why can't not Chris? I'm thinking Chris Black, but that's not it. It's
Just it was just a not a comedian, just a congressman. Yeah.
yeah, he's a really well known, up there in the ranks with George Carlin and Seinfeld and all that, and then he became.
Louis C.K. Is that it? Louis C.K.
I'm not sure if that's it, but anyway, yeah. But and then there was some, when all that whole sex scandal thing happened, everybody was getting hit up with he abused me.
Everyone got an accusation leveled against everyone.
And he got the accusation, so he quit being a congressman, backed out, blah blah blah. But I said he would be the good next president because, come on, we already have a reality, a reality TV actor. Now we need like a comedian.
Totally. I mean,
that was on the guy that was on SNL. He might have been on SNL. I saw him on Hiking with Kevin. He did a hiking with Kevin. I don't know if you know Kevin Neely, who also used to be on Saturday Night Live. Hans and Franz. That was Kevin Nealon, but he does a really cool YouTube channel that I totally love called Hiking with Kevin, and he had him on. No, I didn't catch anything today. I struck out again. I cannot catch those Sacramento Hitch. They're just like Bill Pippin. I mean Bill Clinton.
Do you go fishing in like a river, a pond, or like the ocean?
I do all of it.
Yeah. Have you ever had like because there's a TV show over here called Extreme Fishing or something like that. And when I first saw it, like the name of it, I was laughing. I was like, "Oh, please, Extreme Fishing," because I'm just picturing some old geezers at a pond, catching a tiddly little carp or something. But they were out in the ocean, man, and they were catching these fucking monsters, bruv, and almost going over the like it can be quite extreme at times, right? At times.
Well, I mean, if you're going to the ocean, it's sometimes you're catching, fish that take 3 and 4 hours to land if you're doing a rod and reel. I mean, a 300 or 400 pound like freaking swordfish or grouper, or it's basically man against fish. I mean, it's like who's gonna break first? I mean, you're strapped into a chair. You have the rod like in a holder, like.
But imagine if it's like a killer whale that took that bite. They could like drag some boats under, maybe.
Oh yeah, no, it takes, if you watch a lot of it, depending on what you're fishing. I think I've seen that show. That's what Dylan said. I think I've seen that show.
There must be another version of it over there, Or like, remember that show fucking Trawlerman about like they like actual like commercial fishermen with nets and stuff?
Oh yeah. Yes. Where are you actually at?
England, man, England.
But not London.
Yeah, man, the motherland, London. Yeah.
No, you're actually in London.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, there you go. Get it real. He was asking where you actually from, and he said London. So he guessed it.
Yeah.
Could have been somewhere else. There's other places.
It is the capital city, I guess. Maybe he can detect the accent.
Wicked tuna is a good one. Well, yeah, you all have it. Yeah, it's just like here. Just like here in the U.S. I mean, she was from New York. You could hear her accent. Somebody's
Right, yeah.
Kentucky or wherever, you can hear their accent.
Yeah.
I'm California. I have an accent to other people.
Yeah, there are like, I don't know how many accents there are exactly. There's got to be more, but it's not. It's kind of like you do have those places like Boston, maybe like Philadelphia, New
Right.
York,
Yeah.
even like in close proximity to each other that have distinct different accents. But when
Yep.
you're like you could probably hear the differences in it, like as a native over there, but like,
But you wouldn't.
wet, yeah. But like, well, I would on the East Coast, I think, from city to city, I'll be able to detect the differences. But from what I can hear from where I'm sitting, when it comes to like, when you get to the West Coast, I would have, I can't really. Of it, you've got like the typical, like the surfer bro accent, yeah, of a
Did you see the
Californian
comment?
surfer. Yeah, unmistakable. Yeah, that's right.
We know it. What I really realized is when I was in San
Well, can
Francisco,
you
I was,
tell the difference in accent between someone that lives, at the top end north of California and someone that lives like, obviously LA you would, but someone who lives in the countryside, is there much of a difference in the accents? Because to me,
I
it
don't,
kind of, yeah.
I don't hear an accent. I just hear a difference in word choice,
Oh, so dialects more than
dialect.
accent.
It's more of the way they talk and the words they use.
Oh, okay.
You can kind of tell the slang stuff if they're from north or south. But I don't hear an accent at all. I can just tell by kind of what they say and how they say it. Like if they're north
Because
or south.
Americans like to think they always say that they don't have an accent, right?
Oh no, we have all kind. I mean, no, I mean,
No, but it's like you're an older guy, you're more intelligent, I guess. But I've heard it said of some Americans before. They say, "Oh, no, I'm
we don't have
American.
it.
I don't have an accent," and I have to like sit there and explain to them. It's no, you do
Yes,
have an accent. It's just like
I
because
hear
I
it.
think some of them they grow up sort of when they hear about, oh, he had an accent, and that's the only context they hear the word accent in, and they
Right.
think it means foreign. But accent is just how
Yeah,
you have
it's
an
just the
American
way.
accent. An American, that is an accent. Everyone
Yeah.
has an accent. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But my story is I was in San Francisco. I had a building. My store was in a apartment building, and it was at the bottom.
Yeah.
And my friend was a DJ in that, and he had three guys that were from Ireland that were there.
Mm,
They're like, he's like, hey, dude, we're gonna be partying in the backyard. Once you close your store, come join us, have beers, everything. And two of the guys I could totally understand because it was
right.
English, but it just had the Irish accent.
Yeah.
And then there was this other guy, and he was from their same town, but it took like 40 minutes of me listening to him before I could even understand a word. And it was so frustrating because I knew he was speaking English,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the accent was so heavy in that it took me a long time.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized because my stepdad's from the Philippines
Okay.
and they all speak the same language, but they have different dialects.
Yeah.
And even he will go and talk to somebody else that's speaking the same language, but he
Yeah.
can't understand them. And that was the
Yeah.
first time I
Like,
realized.
like I can even say that as a British person myself, there are some parts of the UK where if people have a very, very strong, thick regional accent for that part of the world, you have to really listen closely,
Yeah,
even as an English person. You know what I mean? If you're not from that, like, if you're from that part of that town or whatever, yeah, you could pick it up. But
yeah, but that's the first time because he told me that years before that, and I'm like, but they're speaking Filipino. How can you not understand them? And I've only
yeah,
ever spoken English. And then in that moment with that guy, I was like, now I get it because
yeah, 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 yeah,
it was such a heavy Irish accent
yeah.
that
And he was probably using like way more like slang as well than the other dudes were
right.
using. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
and
So
I
that's a
remember,
double. You got to learn the thick accent and try and pick up the new words and all that. It's hard.
yeah, and then I said it to him. I'm like, okay, well, where are you from? Because I understand these two guys when they talk. And he goes, I'm from the same city. We grew up together. I'm all, well, how come it took me forever to understand you because he just had his own like I don't
Were
know
they from
whatever
like?
to it.
Were they from Northern Ireland or the Republic of Ireland? Or
I don't really remember right now. This was like back in like 2010, 2000. No, like 2008, something like that.
you say that like it's like that's a really long time ago, man.
Well, it is. It was
Yeah, I
10,
know, but I like to think that it
like
isn't. I like to
13
kid
years ago.
myself. I like to kid myself sometimes and pretend that it wasn't that long ago. What I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I understand it like it was yesterday
Yeah, no,
in my
but you know
mind.
them times sometimes where you have a memory about something that happened in like 2009 or whatever, and then you really think about it and you think about how long ago, and you're like, oh god, and it's kind of frightening that it was that long ago.
Oh yeah, and I go back even further. I'm like things I remember from 1980, 1978 that are still like a clip in my mind that's like
Yeah.
it was yesterday. And then you go, shit, that was like 40 something years ago. It's like,
So did you never go through? Did you never experience the sort of midlife? Because for me, even when I turned 31, I kind of started. I wasn't bothered when I was 30. And I knew like some girls and women my age when they turned 30, they hated it. It's
oh
a
yeah,
big deal for them. Yeah, but it didn't really hit. I wasn't bothered. But then for some reason, when I became 31, I don't know why it did. I thought, I felt depressed about it because I just, realized no, time is moving on. It's different. It's totally different to being 21. Because all
oh
through my 20s, every next year, I didn't give a fuck. It's like, what, 28, 29, I'm fucking, am I 20,
oh
whatever,
just
31.
just wait, dude. Just wait.
I know. That's what I know. But I know it's going to get even worse. I know, man. But it's
It's
like,
it speeds up like you would not imagine. It's really weird.
but were you, because you were DJing and all of this through your 30s, probably it might not have hit you. Because a lot of
No, it
people,
didn't.
especially
No.
because my life has changed lately as well, since I've become 30, 31, my life was like,
Well, I'm
where
53 and I still feel mentally and in my mind and that it's I'm still the same as I've been. It's the physical stuff that suddenly is when you start to realize it, like trying to climb over a fence or jumping from somewhere that's kind of high up and landing. And I'm a skateboarder and I still skateboard, but when I fall, it just feels like gravity's 20 times stronger.
yeah,
that
it,
that sort of stuff, that sort of stuff, yeah, you start to feel, but mentally, my mind in that, like, no, I can still hang out with like 20-year-old college people, and
so could I, man. I'd love, yeah, I would love,
yeah,
until I'm 80, I'd like to hang around with 20-year-old college people.
yeah, and I can still do that. I can still talk to them. I'm still hip with what they're doing and all that other sort of stuff. That side of it for me, it's just who I am. Because a lot of people sort of get distance from it, and they just can't relate to younger people. But I think what you were saying, since I was in the club scene and a DJ all the way up into my like almost 40 in that,
Yeah,
I'm still more in tune and can hang out with people at a club that are all in their like
yeah, and it's
early
like the
20s.
the energy that people, younger people, like 20 something people have. That there's more. It's like a buzz around. Do you know what I mean? It's like you feel it's invigorating.
Yeah.
They've got some life in them.
And the weird thing with me is, I mean, I don't know, most people look at me and they don't think I'm 53 because of how I look and that and my attitude and the way that I talk and the way that I act. But even when I was like in my mid 30s and I was at the club, I'd have, there'd be there'd be some girl and all of a sudden she'd come over to me and go, "Oh my God, some creepy old man was just talking to me and like he just freaked me out." And I'm all, "Who?" And she's like, "That guy." I'm like, "That guy's like 5 years younger than me." And she goes,
Right, and yeah, yeah,
"Yeah." And
yeah.
she goes, "Oh no, 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 no. But he's nothing like you." And I'm like, "What do you mean? You just called him a creepy old man."
I know. Yeah.
And I know him, and he's like 6 years younger than me. It's like, oh, but it's not like you. It's
It's a
not like,
compliment, I guess, at the end of the day. But yeah, it's one of the moments, like funny
yeah, it's
moment.
just they just don't. I don't know. For some reason, they just anyway. I'm that age of, I guess, my youthful how I don't know how I act, how I talk, how I go about it, and that it's they don't see the age different as much because
Yeah, man.
I've always had that where I'm like, creepy old man, what are you talking about? That means I'm a creepy, and like, oh no, you're so cool. He's no, I'm like, no, you just said it. he's he's I know him. He's like 32. I'm 37. Like you just call him a creepy old man.
Did he
Because they're
look
like,
like bad for his age, or was it just because he was like coming on strong or whatever, or did he look like bad for his age?
no, it was just, I don't know.
He
Some
looked 37, yeah. So
No,
it
he
wasn't
was just
look like
square.
a
He was just
square.
square. He wasn't hip, he was just
What was he even doing in the club, man? It is kind of a 37-year-old man. It almost shouldn't, unless you've used to be the resident DJ at that club. You shouldn't even be there. I don't know. I mean,
no,
do
I
you know?
was resident DJ at that age.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. That's what I mean. So it's kind of like, yeah, certain people have the pass, but well, if you're a fucking square, I mean, squares have the right to go to clubs and shit. They've got to do it at some point in their life. But if you're a square, I don't even know why a kind of like a nerdy square 37-year-old would have any desire to go to a nightclub.
Well,
Do you
no,
know what I'm saying?
they were your age, not my age. They were
No, I'm
like,
not talking about the girls. I'm talking about the 37-year-old man.
I know, but with me, I don't know, they never thought about it. Because what you got to know, I would wear fur jackets. I used to have a cool, like, funky. Usually, I'm wearing it out here. I didn't bring it out here tonight, but funky, like, cat in the hat hats. And
Like a pimp.
I own my own clothing store. I made all my own clothing. I was always sort of this, like, I don't know. I just loved fashion and wore more like high end, funky, different.
Did you do
So
well out of
anyway, I was that old. I was still like a lot of the guys that were in the 20s and 30s, like wanted to be like me in the way that I sort of,
the
I don't know.
charisma?
It's just weird.
Charisma. I know. Yeah. It's all about the energy and the vibes, I guess.
Yeah, because I had friends that they were at that club. They left. And at the time, I was at that club before I started DJing it, and they would graduate from college and move away, and they come back in like 5 years and go into the club and see me, and they're like, "Dude, you haven't changed." They're like, "You're like Pinocchio." It's like I went away. I've got
The
like a
boy that
day
grows up.
job. I got a fiance, and I come back here, and you're still in the same club, and you're 5 years older, but you're
Has it
exactly
ever
the
caused
same you were.
problems for you, like with relationships? Because that might make a lot of women. I could imagine some of the girlfriends I've had, they would have hated that shit, man. They'd have hated that.
Well, my last actual girlfriend I had, I was 36 and she was 19.
Get in there, get in there.
And we went out
Nice.
for 3.5 years. I dated her all the way until she was like almost 23 and that. But yeah, I have no
Yeah, so it's
idea
probably
why.
never been a problem for you, jealousy from girls, right? Because if you've just mostly dated girls that are in the part, they want a party time, they're
Oh
not.
no, she was extremely insecure and extremely jealous.
Oh, okay.
And I owned a
So did
clothing
it
store at
cause?
the
Was she
time.
jealous of you going to the clubs all the time and that, or were you still working at that time? Were you
No,
still
she was.
ever DJing?
Yeah, I was DJing and I had my own clothing store. So it wasn't only that; it was like having models come in and doing, photo shoots and that kind of stuff. It's like Oh,
You
like,
assured her it absolutely had to take place at the clothing store. There's no other way for this photo shoot to take place. The model must come in and have this shoot in my office.
oh no, a lot of times I take the girls out. I shot a lot in nature, and we go out places and on hikes and different structures and stuff that I found that I would shoot at and that. But all half of them had they had a boyfriend too, or some of them were married and
Yeah.
that. But she was like a nightmare for me. It was like the worst thing I could have done. it just it was just constant. Anyway, it was 3.5 years. It was just constant. She was insecure, so it was just constant
And then when
mistrust.
she reached 22, you dumped her when I got another 19-year-old.
No, she
Like
broke up
leaving
with
on a
me.
chapter. Oh,
She broke up with me, and I actually haven't had a serious girlfriend since. And it's been, well, I dated people not on and off, but no, since her, I've never actually had a serious girlfriend, and that was 2005. So
well, I'll
I
tell
just,
you, I'm assuming if it's been that long, that's because you ain't like, it's not for want of trying.
yeah,
You've
I'm
not
just
really
kind of
been
over it.
interested in serious.
Yeah, I'm just over it. I spent so many years in that sort of womeny, hooking up with women, and club scene, and yeah, once I got into my
You've
like
worn yourself out. You lost the drive a bit, mate. The animal instincts, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, no, I just sort of wasn't a focus anymore.
Was it like painful? When she broke up with you, was it like a bad breakup? Was it, I did
No,
it hurt
actually,
you?
she was my longest relationship, and she was the easiest to get over. So it was
Oh,
really
well,
weird.
that is weird.
Yeah,
Probably
I
because
had,
you were tired of her by that. It had been so long, and you weren't used to being with the same person that long. You're like, thank God, I ain't got to fuck this same damn pussy anymore.
no, it was I don't know, it was really weird. I just kind of I don't know. I was just kind of like focused on other things, and
You knew it
yeah,
was coming one day, basically, probably, right? You're like, well, it's bound to come sooner or later.
yeah, I was just basically I don't know. It was just kind of like, all right. Well, I don't know. You don't watch a lot of my live streams, but a lot of times I go live at the wharf and other places, and I will meet random women, and they'll talk to me, and in the chat, everyone's like, "Get her number, dude. She's totally into you. You should get her number, dude. Ask her out, dude. Take her." And I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just thought she was really friendly, really nice." But everyone's always like,
Pushing you to do that.
"Yeah," and I'm like,
Because is it one of them ones they just want you to like chat up the women for them, basically?
um, I don't know. A lot of it's just that I've never been the aggressive person. It's usually the women that are aggressive. Like I don't. They ask me for my number, or
Yeah,
they
yeah,
ask
yeah.
me to hang out. I was never the person that was like, "Oh, you're really cool. Yeah, like, can I get your number? Let's
So
hang out."
yeah, I know. So you're saying you've never really learned like to be the one to approach. I know where you're coming from. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was always the
It's
one that
like a
they came
curse.
to
It's a
me.
bit of a curse because it's like, yeah, if you're lucky enough to be one of those guys who's either got
Yeah,
the something about you, because not all guys get that approach, but I've been
yeah,
there in the past. It's happened to me, and it can make if that yeah, it's you maybe don't learn the skills
yeah.
like
I
the
don't learn the
kind of
skills because
skills
I
as a
never
man. You
had
know
to.
what I mean?
I never had to. It was just they were for some
Yeah.
reason always. And I would go to bars, and I like so many guys be like, "Dude, I want to be like you." Like every time I see you, you have like the most gorgeous women that you're talking to at a table. So I'm like, yeah, they're my models. They, you know, a lot of them have boyfriends. They just thought I was just like getting laid by all these different chicks, like day in and I'm like, no, they're just my
Yeah.
friends. Like,
Was it one of them
I
ones
mean,
where people kind of assumed, that you were like
yeah, it was all assumption.
more a
It
bigger
was all
deal
assumption.
than you maybe were, kind of thing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I've always
Yeah,
been.
because you were like a bit of a big deal around town, and people that thought you maybe a
Yeah,
massive.
I had my own
You know
clothing
what? Yeah,
store. I did fashion shows. They would see, I'd show them the photos, have them a new card of some other model that I've used for, promotion and everything else. So, the way it works, everyone's like,
were you a very braggadocious kind of guy, or were you like humble about it, or did
yeah,
you
and
enjoy it?
I still am to this day, and that's an issue I've had. And it's even been on here in some of my lives about it with as far as who people see me as Central Coast Bass and as a fisherman. Because I don't see myself as somebody. I know how to fish and all that, but I go places and other people are like, "Oh, CCB's here, CCB's here." Like, "Oh, look, Central Coast Bass filming it," and they're nervous around me, and I'm like, well, "Why would they mean? I mean, I just come here and film shows. Like,
I
why
don't know why they're nervous around you. You're quite you have quite a relaxing well, I feel quite relaxed
persona?"
talking to you anyway. So, mate, because the thing with you is, I suppose,
Oh,
even though maybe you might talk about the glory days and that, but something, in your tone of voice, you don't sound like you're boasting too much or anything. You sound still, it's not like I don't
yeah,
feel
I'm
like
not.
you're
I'm
trying
not.
to brag.
And so you're a good example because we just met. You like showed up in my live out of like nowhere,
Right.
and we're having this sort of conversation. And that's the way I always am. I mean, I'll meet people and another guy, and we'll hang out, and then suddenly, like, we'll meet girls, whatever, and they're like, "God, are you guys old friends? How long have you guys known?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we've known each other like 2 months." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know. We just got along." It's like,
What's the secret to it, man? What's the secret? Like, I think you're a good listener. Like you're one, and that's probably all your days of DJing in night. That's probably helped you. Because I'm quite bad when I've been drinking, like I have now and stuff. I'm quite bad for interrupting people. And I've probably done it to you quite a few times. But all your days in nightclubs, you're probably quite used to it.
well, the funny thing is, when I one of the first fashion shows I did when I had my store, it was set up by somebody else. I was just one of like the guest designers, and and I filmed it, and I went up and I put a camera, like they had a little like loft in the back, and I put up and I filmed it, and I filmed the show, but then it filmed everything like afterwards of people coming up to me and people talk to me and like a lot of little girls, like younger girls that want to be fashion designers. Since I was the only fashion designer like in the town, them going, "Oh my God, you're
Right.
so inspirational. I want to do this and that." And I, since it just ran afterwards, and I started watching it, and I started watching myself on how I sort of carried myself while I was talking to people and that. And it was just this sort of fly in the wall, but watching me. And I always watch, other designers and interviews, and I was kind of like, wow, I mean,
Did you feel you looked the part?
yeah, I mean, just the way that
Yeah.
I talked to him and my body language and everything, because you couldn't hear it because it was so
Yeah.
far away. But I was just watching my body
That's good
language.
because a lot of people when they watch them or hear themselves back on video or whatever, they kind of cringe. They can't stand to and hear themselves. But you're lucky you weren't like that.
Yeah, that's what I said. Is I like, I finally saw myself as the people I watched that I was aspiring to and I wanted to be like when
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
in
yeah.
an interview and they're talking, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I do actually present myself very well. But I'd never like seen it from because this was like early on. I mean, I filmed myself like this or for
Yeah.
shows, but I'd never really watched myself from afar like that.
Yeah.
just sort of, and I didn't even, at that time, I didn't even remember that the camera was on or anything. It was just
Yeah.
up out of the way. But I remember watching. I might still have it somewhere on tape, but I was just
And I
like,
guess because in the fashion world, because there's no like defined set rules to it, anyone can, like, people, designers probably do just come pop out of nowhere, and that's probably all based on how they carry themselves in amongst these circles. And if they have the confidence that everyone believes that there's something about this guy, they're the shit. And do you know what I'm
but the
saying?
funny thing
Like,
is,
you've got to have confidence to do that. I guess you can't.
yeah,
You
but
know?
the funny thing is when I moved to San Francisco with my store, I moved there because I wanted to be, I wanted to meet people that were like me, other designers and fashion people. And I got there, and 90% of them that I met, I they were so fake. I couldn't even, I didn't even want to be around them. I thought, oh, I'm going to San Francisco. It's it's like a mini New York. It's like a fashion capital.
And where
I'm
had you
thinking,
come
can you
from when
even?
you went there? Where had you come from?
I came from San Luis Obispo, which is nothing. I originally grew up in LA,
Okay.
but
Oh,
then I
okay.
moved here.
You
But
should be used to it then. I swear. Don't they say LA is they're all fake and all that?
and that was just it. It's like there was a few designers that did it for me, but a lot of designers were just they didn't even make their clothes. They just made the pattern and had other people sew it. I sat and actually
Right.
physically made everything I sold, and I only did one of a kinds,
Oh God.
and I followed all the high end couture like John Galliano and
Yeah.
Alexander McQueen and
Yeah.
all these more cutting edge.
Did that not work out? Very expensive for you, or I don't know, but like, if every line in your shop was like, I don't know, handmade by you, that must have.
Yeah, I never made money. I had my store for 11 years and I never made money.
Oh, okay. So was it more to promote like your fact, you as a you as a clothing designer, really is like,
Yeah, well, I started with the high end,
right,
but I never followed it up with like the low end, like jeans and because high end fashion, what one dress that sells for $30,000 that a movie star will wear on a runway,
mm,
compared
well,
to the fact that they make $400 million a year.
half of the clothes you see models wearing on the catwalk, no one ever. They're like concept cars. You see a concept kind of site, it's not going to look like that when it
Yeah,
actually comes out. Do you know what I mean? No
but
one's going to really wear that.
the reality is they live off a few things that are a hit, and that stuff. If you look at fashion, it actually goes from the bottom to the top to the middle. Because these high end designers like John Galliano and all these creative people, they go to the underground clubs and everything else, and they pick up on trends and
Uh-huh.
things going on, and then that's their inspiration for the next collection. So they take it to the top level,
Yeah.
and then after a couple of years, one or two of those things might become in the middle range,
Like
popular,
more main. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
mainstream.
Yeah.
So, and I watched all this. I studied it, and I watched this all happen. The whole
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's actually sort of a 3-year lag
Right.
between when a high-end designer kind of does
But it
something.
starts. It starts in Milan, and then maybe 3 years later, it's in Texas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you listen to interviews and you study them a lot, where they picked that up was from an underground club or some sort of underground music sort of scene. They saw some sort of fashiony sort of trend happening, and that became their inspiration. And like when techno came in, and or when like certain 80s music came in, or certain, and but what it does is it goes from those high end like Chanel and John Galliano, and then it gets picked up by like Donna Karan or Calvin Klein or a more mainstream high end designer. And
What's your
they
opinion of that woman? She's a bit weird, like Vivienne Westwood.
oh yeah, she's great.
You like her stuff,
Come on.
okay? Fair enough. Because look,
Well,
I'm
she
like
made up.
I'm not in like to the fashion world, and yet to an outsider, oh, she just seems like a bit of a silly
She
woman
made.
to me. Like, oh, she just seems.
She designed the bondage pants.
Uh, well, I
Remember the
don't even.
punkers, the '80s and that with their bondage pants with all the straps all over them, and they were usually
Bro, this
plaid.
is why girls love you because you can talk about her clothes and all this shit. Like, and damn, that's why. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Because I don't even know the difference between a crop top and a fucking belly top. Like, I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Like, when I hear this stuff, when girls say this stuff, man, it just goes in one ear, out the other. I don't know, man.
Yeah, for a lot of them, I'm kind of like the gay friend. Anyway, I'm not gay, but that's just
Yeah,
sort of
but that's the perfect way to get in, man. You lull
yeah,
them,
that was sort of my in.
lull them into a false sense of security, right?
Exactly. And not be gay.
Yeah, otherwise there's no point. Make them think you're not going to fuck them, then fuck them.
Yeah, but I never did that. It was just sort of that was it. It was just I was just talking about this. Wow, I was talking about this on my other live stream. Oh, it was something actually. It was after it was an off live, but I can go into a bar, meet a girl, start talking to her, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she's like telling me like the most personal stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah, and all of a sudden, she will like kind of stop herself and go, "I just met you. Why the hell am I telling you this?" And I'm just kind of like, "Because I asked." I mean, I don't. It's like I became this sort of like therapist where they like, but it's
when
happened
they
over
tell
and
you
over in my
stuff that
life.
you feel like I don't even have the I don't have the right to even know this, man. Why you you know what I mean? They start telling you shit
Yeah.
about that they should keep
Okay.
private, like about their family or whatever, what something their family member has done that.
Right. And that
Yeah,
was it. And it's always been a reoccurrence with me. And sometimes not. I mean, not only just women, but with a guy that I'm kind of talking to, and all of a sudden, you know, it'll go to a place where he's talking to me about, childhood stuff and family, and just I said like a therapist. Like suddenly they just open up. It's like I've known them for an hour, and suddenly they're just so open and feel so trusted.
you
It
do
just
have like quite a safe kind of calm aura about you. I will admit.
yeah. I've always called myself Sweden.
Sweden
Yeah, I seem to be neutral.
and liberal, very liberal, right?
Well, no, but I mean, it seems
Yeah.
like it just seems like everybody, even if I have like people that hate a certain person, and I'm friends with both of them.
No one hates Sweden. There's nothing to hate about Sweden. Like,
Right.
yeah.
The one guy will talk to me about that guy, and then when I meet that guy, he will talk to me about that guy. and and they kind of both know that I know both of them, but it's like they're talking to a neutral country. Like I won't tell him what he told me, and I don't tell him what the other guy told me. But it's like, okay, how come I'm friends with both of these people that completely totally hate each other, and both of them will sit down and talk to me about the other person. And I've always said it about myself. I mean, said it for like 30 years about myself. It's like I'm Sweden. Like for some reason,
They go
even if
fuck
even if
neutral.
yeah, even if yeah, even if they know that I know him and he knows that I know him, yet they'll both like open up about their hatred of the other person to me. Like I'm not gonna say anything, or I'm not gonna
Yeah, they
I
must
don't know.
know
I'm
that
just
you're
like,
not gonna go and tell, because if you tell that kind of shit to a woman, even like kind of like the best, the nicest woman, they can't fucking help themselves. They have to tell someone. You know what I mean? Even if it's like just their mum, they have to tell their mum. But then when their friend comes over to their mum's, when she goes to the toilet, their mum will tell the fucking friend, and it will get around. It's like them ones where someone tells you a secret and you just tell one person, you're like, look, this is a secret. No one can know this. And they're like, okay, fine. And then they tell everyone, but everyone just
yeah,
says this is a secret, can't tell anyone.
yeah. But I've just always found myself being able to. I don't know. They just always are very open about, with no thought that I'm gonna go run to that guy and go, you know what so and so said about you? Or when they're talking to me, I already know everything the other guy said to him, but I don't tell them anything. I just listen to what they're saying.
Right.
And like you said that too, I'm a good listener. So I don't spill the beans. I mean, I don't go, oh well, you know what he said about you, and I never say that. I just listen to their side of it, and then I listen to the other person's side of it, and I say neutral. I'm like, I don't want to get in the middle of this. I don't even, I know him. Why are you telling me this? Because you know, I talk to him all the time and that, but I don't know. It's just like I said, I'm Sweden. It's like I'm just like this neutral party.
So many of those like drama stories, like you hear, they tell you something for like 5, 10 minutes, and at the end of it, you're like, there was literally two pieces of actual information in that. He
Yeah,
said this and she said that, and that's it. Christ. Men
yeah.
aren't
And
as
the,
bad at it, but women are fucking hell, man. Jesus Christ. Have you,
but the
with
weird,
women, sometimes I ask a woman, I'm like, literally, ask them for an important piece of information. And it's so I fucking regret asking a man because they have to tell me, they somehow manage it. Where if you ask a man this question, they tell you in one sentence, and they somehow manage to make it a fucking biography. I don't know how they fucking do it, man. Every little thing, oh, man.
and I see another weird thing within my 11 years of owning my clothing store. Complete failure financially, never made money, but evidently through how I act and everything, the persona of it
Yeah.
was that I was, this, or they saw me as this person. And so I'd be at like a club that's successful or anything, and suddenly I would have the owner like wanting ideas and business stuff from me. I'm kind of like, why are you asking me? I'm like, the persona was that I was like successful in making money, and when I was just like borrowing money every
Yourself in
single
debt.
month.
Uh,
But I don't know, just my demeanor and who I was.
Well,
They
if
would
you'd have,
ask,
a less, like a less of a good person, you would have made a fantastic con artist if you think about it, wouldn't you?
oh yeah, oh God, yes. If I ever
Like
win
those
that
club
race,
owners, you could, if you wanted to, you could have scammed them, couldn't you? You could have said, "Oh, want to invest in this and that." But
yeah,
it's
I'm
good.
too honest, and I gave away too much information.
Oh,
I said I would help people that I would help
but
other
they probably
businesses.
wouldn't do the same help for you if it was reversed. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and I got told that from other businessmen because somebody would come in and they had an idea to do, and I would give them like, oh, you should try here. You can get 'em a lot cheaper. You can do this. You can do that. You'll save money. And all the other business owners like, why would you tell them that?
Yeah,
They're
you got to be
they're
so
another
ruthless. But,
they're another clothing store. Like they're your competition. Why would you? I'm like, well, because it saved money. I mean, because I'm just that's how I learned. Somebody told me about, oh, try out this clothing company here. Oh, try out this t-shirt place, and oh, you can get them a lot cheaper here and that. But yeah, everyone was like, they own a clothing store. Why would you tell them that? Like, why? They're your I'm like, Well, because I learned it and I love to teach what I learned. So I told them how to save a little bit of money and save a little on their overhead. And they're like,
So did it cost you a lot of money when you got out of it?
no, I spent like in 11 years, I spent about $80,000,
Oh man.
and I put it all on credit cards.
Oh.
and and in all those 11 years, I probably made like $20,000.
Okay, so I guess some people, to be honest, if you think about it, some people that is some people's like entertainment bill on their budget for 10 years, isn't it? If you think about it. So
Well, yeah, I mean, for lasting 11 years, only spending $80,000, having a storefront and having to pay rent and everything. I mean,
did you enjoy it though? Were you enjoying it, or was it stressful all the time, or what?
well, I enjoyed it in slow. I enjoyed it for like the first 4 years. The next 3 years was hell. Then when I moved to San Francisco, it was kind of fun, but I was already on such a shoestring and a budget that the store itself wasn't fun, but it was just being in that city and going to the clubs. And then I ended up, being able to DJ at those clubs and meet more creative people and people that were successful that were around my age and doing entrepreneurial. And it was fun for the first 2 years. And the last 2 years I was there, it was like I didn't even go out. It was just I was over it. I'm like, plus I drained everything. I was borrowing money. I was just like, and then 2008 hit
Oh
with
yeah.
economy and everything. And after that, I'm like, I'm done. And now I don't even think about designing. I still have my sewing machines and stuff, but I have actually no thought about it. Like I can still create some if I wanted, but and that's a hard thing for people too, because do 11 years where you're just like every day I'm making like 7 and 8 new designs and I'm coming up with new ideas and I'm constantly doing new ads and new photos and then they just completely give it up. People are like, you should try it again. Like it's still in you. You still have the passion. I'm like, nope, been there, done that.
I
I'm over
mean,
it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's just I don't know. I do. I like I said, I make my own baits now. Now I'm starting to do my own. I just launched a clothing line for my fishing show and did that yesterday and set up a whole site for selling my clothing
uh,
and what people
if
understand
you're
is
doing clothing again, I wouldn't bother doing the high end concept shit, man. I'd just go for the urban brands, man. You know what I mean? It's just easy, fucking urban, you know, catchy little urban fucking things on a t-shirt. Like, I mean, that's the easiest. Do you know what? I'm not even gonna call out because I don't want to sound because I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. So, yeah, like I want to like be helpful as I can, but I don't know what I'm on about.
well no, but it's if you're a highly creative person,
But you maybe were too talented and creative for your own good because you know what I mean. You had this vision.
yeah,
You had this vision, but like even there must so many people out there. They had the best idea, the best thing in the world, but it's like sometimes you need help to. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a very
that's what.
clicky,
Well, no,
clicky world, the fashion world, right? It's all about who
well,
you
no,
know. You know what I mean? Sorry, but
that was my
let's
biggest
Vivian
problem.
Westwood. I'm sorry, I see some of her stuff. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this absolute fucking. If I turn up to the London
Right.
Fashion Week with the exact same stuff as Vivian Westwood, and we just Vivian Westwood like said she was ill and didn't turn up, and
Right.
and I stole her models, and people would say, "Oh, this is shit. You're a clown." They would laugh about the clothes. I'm telling you, man.
Right. Well, no, but see, the thing is with me is I needed help. I'm 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 the creative person, the mind person. I'm not a business person. I'm not a market. I mean, I'm a marketer as far as being able to create the stuff and that, but I'm not I'm too humble and I don't go out and like
Then maybe your talents would be
force it.
best actually working for like a brand, maybe
Right.
like as one of on
Exactly.
their like design team or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Like, yeah,
I would be good as the head of a designer with the creative. And then you
yeah.
have all the people that are better suited for the rest of it. But I try to do everything myself when I'm only good at the creative
It would be hell,
ideas.
right? Because you'd create this thing that you were perfect, like you're happy with, and you'd done to perfection, and then you'd like pass it on to the management or whatever, and they'd be like, "Hmm,
Right.
nice." Few changes need to be made for, and you just see it like ruined in your mind. Do you know what I mean? Like butchered.
That's why I would never want to be that person too, because they take that and mundane it down to what sells, which me as a creative, artistic type person is like would crush me to see this great
Yeah.
idea with the great print and the fact, and suddenly it becomes popular and it's like a T-shirt that is most simplistic, whatever. And I'm just no, but I actually had a guy. I had two situations. I had a guy that was like he was a marketer, he was a graphic designer
Yeah.
and did graphic design and made ads. And my store next to it was a sushi restaurant. And one time I came out and he was outside and I started talking to him and he's like, "Oh yeah, I see your ads run in the because I ran ads in the New Times, like the local paper and that." He goes, "Yeah, where are the rest of your guys' stores?" And I went, "What do you mean?" He goes, "No, you guys are like a franchise or you're like a big company, right?" And I'm like, "No, it's just me." He's like, "Dude, I look at the quality of your ads you're running and everything else," and he thought it was like a huge self-clothing, which is what it's called. It was actually Scott's Everlasting Fashion, but it was self
Right.
SELF, and that's why I did one of a kind. But yeah, he was so like completely
Sold on the
baffled
idea. Yeah.
on the idea that I was a big company and that I was
I
that.
mean,
Yeah,
it, it
I
it's
had
all
the
well and
store
good saying
here.
it now, but like maybe back then, maybe you should have considered making it into a franchise, because if people had that's because franchises are such, if you've got an idea that people buy into, it's such an easy way for fast cash. You just give them the license to sell your stuff
Right,
for
and
that,
but
they
that's
pay an upfront big
right.
cash, like 70 grand or whatever, and let them crack on, and
But that's the other side of the story. Is I once from that same thing, I had a guy come in, and he's an entrepreneur. He funds companies and that. He was from Canada, and he came in. He has a young daughter, and she was like, "Love my clothes and that." And while she was shopping that, I was talking to him, and he was looking at it, and he's like, asked me business questions and this. I was showing him my ads and my concepts, and he's like, "I'd like to talk to you. Like, I would really love to sit down with you." And saying stuff like, "Oh, well, this may be that, but oh, my lawyers can handle that." And he gave me his card, and
what did you want to buy, like a stake in your company or something?
yeah, he wanted to invest. He said I could see my kind of store being on like a high end fashion row in Toronto,
Yeah.
or on Melrose or something. And he saw, and the one thing he said to me is, "You need help." And I went, "You mean mentally or?" But I mean, he understood the concept and he
You
understood the
meant
fact
business wise, because did you
business
tell him,
wise.
like, were you honest and like, look, I'm not actually making money, like, you
Well,
know,
no, yeah, I told him. Yeah, I
because
mean,
he
I
must have
mean,
asked that. If he's thinking about investing, he would have had to have
yeah,
asked,
and he actually gave me his card and he would sit down. And he was going to be there for another week. Unfortunately, the next day, I was heading down to LA because I'd put myself in the gift show to try and sell my T-shirt products. So instead of talking to him and that, I left, and then he said he would call me, and I don't know. I just after that I never got back in I mean, but I mean, to me, it's kind of like the what if. What if I said, all right, and I canceled that show and met with him and sat down?
But do you know
I mean,
what? It might not have happened anyway because like people like that, they got loads of money. It's all very well to any opportunity they see
right.
inquire
But
about.
he
But
wasn't a
to
he wasn't a
to them, but
fashion. He wasn't a fashion investor,
so
man. His was. So he might have talked to his people and said, you know,
all he would have cared about is probably is the company making money. It like surely if he's not
no,
into fashion, because,
I don't think it had to do with that. He saw the concept and saw its potential.
right?
But like he told me, he doesn't invest in that sort of stuff. So
Oh.
maybe back and maybe the volatility of the fashion
But I
and
suppose, yeah, if you'd have continued your relationship with him, he probably could have at least given you some very valuable advice.
yeah, but I don't unless he invested with the capital and took it to where it needed to go. Even his advice probably wouldn't have. I was always underfunded.
Uh, but it could have just been not like creative advice. He might have literally just told you like a sweet little fucking trick of how to get past a load of taxes or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Little tax trick or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just it was a really good concept, but I don't know. I just didn't on my own have the funds and the means to ever make it.
Well, maybe it wasn't meant to be, man.
It was, and I had much more fun fishing and making videos. Even then, I used to make videos. I made skateboarding videos, snowboarding videos, and one of the first reasons I started making the clothing was so I could make videos that had a purpose. Because before I just made fun videos. My friend used to play in his surf shop and all that.
Yeah.
But once I opened the store, then I started making little 3 minute, 4 minute videos showing my fashion, and it was self clothing, and so suddenly me playing around with video had a purpose because it was attached to a business. But my whole concept was always about the video side of it, making videos and the fun with. So I think I created it all just to be able to make video attachment to them that wasn't just, you know,
Yeah.
a guy playing around with videos. And I
Well,
made a
it sounds
bunch of
like,
really.
maybe if you think about it one way, maybe the money you put into that business, if you enjoyed a large portion of that time, then it's no different
Yeah,
from like a bit of a slightly expensive hobby, because people spend more
it
than
was.
that over 10 years on like hobbies and stuff, don't they?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's just it. I said I've in my life I've been highly successful. I've just never made money.
I know, I totally know what you, bro. I know totally what you
Yeah, I
mean, man.
mean,
You just spend it all as soon as it comes in. You spend you. It's
well, no,
like
I didn't.
you
I didn't
have
even
to.
have.
You're itching to spend that money. Like you can't have it. You want. It's
No, I
just.
didn't even. I didn't even have it coming in. I was just. It was
Oh
just
well,
always.
but successful in life in other ways. Okay, then fine. Well,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, I
yeah,
mean, I had clothing. I've had clothing in almost every freaking country in the world over those 11 years that people have bought from me, from
yeah,
like London to Africa to Sweden to
yeah.
Ireland
So
to.
you got like you've had that feeling of recognition plenty of times from it. It wasn't
Right,
like
but I just
yeah,
I just never did it in enough volume to
yeah.
make money. Same thing with
You
my
know,
artwork.
most businesses fail, don't they? I'm sure the statistics say like,
Oh,
90% of startup. Well, I
shoot.
think they say just startup companies, most of them do
Yeah.
fail.
Well, no, clothing and restaurants are like the highest on the list for failure. I mean, it's like 90% of startups fail.
Well, I never see any like you don't really hear of many. I don't know what the last brand new uh, like high street clothing store. Most of the time, if they do pop up with a different name, if you actually look into it, they'll be owned by like
Yeah.
some big a bigger company or something. Anyway, like River
Well, the
Island.
fact is, I was there when American Apparel got big, and they're suffering right now. And they're getting ready to go out. Forever 21 now is suddenly filed Chapter 11,
Damn.
and it's clothing, but it's just a lot of it was I was
Forever 21. I'd never heard of that until rappers started talking about it on their songs.
yeah, but they just filed Chapter 11.
Yeah. You don't hear rappers talking about it. You haven't heard them talk about it for a few years.
Well, yeah, it was they were it was what is it, disposable chic,
Right.
cheap clothing that was high end trend oriented, but 2 or 3 washes and it freaking fell apart because it was like $10.
They like it would like pretended to be better than it was really. Yeah.
Well, no, it was disposable cheek. It was high end looking fashion, but it was made so crappy that
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like
yeah, it's
poor,
called
cheap,
disposable
cheap
chic.
materials and stuff, but they try and make it look like it's a high quality product.
Right. Well, same thing. H&M. H&M
Yeah.
is they're disposable chic too. They're sort of at the same level
Yeah.
of Forever 21 and that.
We have that here as well. Yeah.
Yeah, they
H&M.
copy all the high end. I mean, it's on the runway this year, and they copy it, and it's in their store 6 months later, and it's
Oh.
like $10 and half the price. And but the shit's it's shitty quality. It falls apart. It can't handle a wash. That's
Sometimes
what they call it.
on TV over here they have these like those like the morning kind of news slash like magazine type TV. Do you know what I mean? The morning TV shows. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
sometimes I
talk.
see them. They do this thing where they get like some expensive outfit, and then they go to like Primark
Cheap.
or something,
Yeah.
and they get the same thing for like $10. The whole and it looks you wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't fucking know the difference, mate.
Yeah, but the high end one you will wear in 30 years. The $10 one within a
Oh yeah,
year or two wash,
yeah.
it's
I
falling
don't
apart.
like throwing away clothes. I don't like throwing away clothes. I've got some clothes that I've had for many years, and I've got some t-shirts. Like my girlfriend's tried to throw them away so many times.
Right, but that's just it. Is now suddenly people want more quality and lasting stuff. That's why Forever 21 is suddenly going downhill.
Yeah, and I think part of that is
American
because see
Apparel.
how shopping used to be a more of an actual thing in itself. Going to the mall,
Yeah,
etc.
an event.
It was actually like a day out almost, and that's obviously declining because
Right.
of internet and stuff. So yeah, people need to spend their money more wisely, I suppose.
Well, now it's Amazon and everything. Everybody mail orders and it's internet sales and
Mm.
yeah. But I've been through the whole cycle. I've seen the whole cycle and I studied it. I used to watch. I used to watch 5 um, video shows every single week, like Elsa Clinch's Style, VH1's Style One, MTV's House of Style, um, In Style. All that. I would copy them all. I played them in my store. I would watch them obsessively. I was subscribed to like 5 different fashion magazines, high end ones down to like underground, low end ones, because I was studying like everything that had to do with fashion and like every trend from the smallest from the teenager club stuff up to the high end actresses and
I bet you watched that show, like RuPaul something. I don't know. The gay, like the I don't know, like the transsexual guy, but it's all
yeah,
about like
RuPaul.
yeah.
Yeah, it's RuPaul.
Do you watch his TV show? Yeah.
No, I never watched that. I just watched all the fashion stuff. There used to be a lot of fashion shows that were weekly on like E and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
downloaded all them. I recorded all them. I
Christ.
followed him. I was pretty much 24/7 self-clothing.
Jesus Christ, man. I couldn't have hacked that, you know. I mean, well, I just suppose I just don't have the passion for fashion like you, man. You know.
I didn't have it. I was a skateboarder. I don't even know where I picked it up. I picked it up from women I knew along the way that were hair designers and makeup designers and were really into fashion. That's
Well,
where I got my
you
whole
enjoyed some part of it, man. You must have. You must have.
No, I have no idea. I was all self-taught. My mom doesn't own a sewing machine. My sister doesn't own a sewing machine.
Well, even more. That's even more proof you must have enjoyed some part of it to like
Oh,
have motivation.
I highly enjoyed the creative process.
Yeah, there's not. I'm not. You don't have like. There's nothing wrong in that. A man is allowed to like be into fashion. I'm not like saying nothing wrong with that, bro.
No, there wasn't. No, it hadn't. And I love women. I love women because I'm not gay and I love women. Where a lot of designers love women, but they don't love women. I was like this enigma within the whole thing because
I remember seeing some documentary about like models in Italy, and because apparently like a lot of models you don't even realize, but they're actually like way younger. Like
oh
I
yeah,
didn't realize, but some models are like younger than I ever
oh
thought. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not.
there's-
But I saw this fucked up documentary, man, where apparently like
yeah,
it was a few years ago, but apparently there's a lot of
there's
well, yeah,
14 year
people
olds.
taking advantage and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. They reckon they were drugging the girls. Or this was all in Italy or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I mean,
I gotta take a bathroom break. I'll be right back.
oh, cool, man.
Give me a sec.
Jesus Christ. What are you done? What are you done?
Okay, talking on that note,
Hey, man, that was quick.
here's
Well,
a like. Yeah, I might be old, but I still pee quick. Here's a here's a really odd one. Um, During the time I had my store, and while I was doing my fashion, and I'd already had the store for like 4 or 5 years in slow, and I did a lot of fashion shows, and I was kind of like a known person.
yeah.
I had this family come in and they had their daughter and they're like, oh yeah, she wants me to model. And, they've been, taking her to modeling editions and everything else. And I was talking to him and at the time I went, yeah, I'm actually starting to make some lingerie. And so you know, I'm, I just started doing it. I need to get some models in and um, do some shoots so I can advertise the fact that, yeah, now I've kind of learned how to do lingerie and that. And they're like, "Oh, our daughter will do it for you, no problem."
Oh,
Like, yeah, you want her? Like, she'll come in and she'll do your like lingerie fashion shoots and stuff for you. And I'm all, uh, no, I don't know. I just don't feel right.
I
Well,
know
their
what you mean.
daughter.
You had to play go on the safe side, man. I know what you mean, man.
No, no,
It's
no.
like
But
what
no,
you could have
get
done
this
if
though.
you'd have just said you could have accepted, but said, I know what you mean, because I wouldn't have wanted like as
No, no,
I
no.
would
But you have.
accept as long as like her mum was accompanied her, So no one can accuse me of anything or whatever. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
no, 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 no. But here's the rub on the whole thing.
Right.
Their daughter, yeah, she looked like she was like 16 or 17, which still in the fact to do that with somebody that age, to me, underage, anyway the parents are saying it.
It's legal. That age is legal over here. Just saying, but go on.
No, their daughter was 13.
Yeah, that's not legal. Yeah.
Well, no, but just the fact that they were like, because she
So
wanted to be a mom.
ready to push her into that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was just like,
And when you say lingerie, do you mean like not just
yeah,
like
like,
underwear, but like
well, no,
sex
like, yeah,
lingerie?
like thongs and like really, I mean, really high end Fredericks of Hollywood, like seductive.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you probably were best off saying no because I don't know. Like, do
Yeah,
they do that? Like, obviously they would have those age girls doing like underwear modeling stuff with catalogs or whatever.
well,
But
no, I
do
mean,
they
it's
do
like,
that? Like, even in like the modeling world, do they have girls that age doing lingerie, like that kind of lingerie?
well, no, but a lot of the girls on the runway and the catwalk are like 14 years old, 15 years
Yeah, yeah,
old.
I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just the fact that they were so into like,
Oh no, actually they do. Actually, actually I remember now this documentary. Yeah, they were like doing bikini. They were in
yeah,
bikinis and stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, like
yeah,
14, 15.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. God, it's one of them. Yeah, so
But just my whole, I mean, thought process of who I am, and they were just so into like, oh yeah, we see you. You're like, hi, my daughter's trying to get into it. Like, can you use your model and all that? And I mentioned laundry, and like, oh, she'll do the laundry, and I'm like, really? You're, you're,
it's a bit of
you,
a surreal moment, isn't it?
yeah, it was
Almost.
a surreal
Yeah.
moment. I'm just like, did you just offer your 13-year-old daughter to do like erotic? I mean, not erotic, but just like,
They probably would have. They probably who knows? Like they sound like if
oh,
they're that desperate.
oh yeah. If I would have said yes, yeah, I'm sure that she would have been in there. And
Do you know what this story? What you're telling me kind of reminds me. I'm sure you're familiar with this. You know, fucking Bruno, that character.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, you've seen those ones where he's sitting there and he's like, "Oh, you know, is your baby okay with like getting stung by bees or crazy stuff?"
and
You
they
know,
all
that
say
would
yes.
actually put the baby in danger, and the mum's sitting there like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 she's cool
Yeah,
with
but
that." Yeah,
that's
fine.
see that was my side of it. My side of it was the parents because they were pushing her so much into. I mean, she was freaking a gorgeous girl. Like I said, she was only 13. She looked like she was like 16 or 17. Great body and everything else. But I'm like, just the mentality of them.
It made you feel like a bit weird and wrong. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I was just
needy.
like,
Yeah.
this is what parents will do just because they think like she's gonna make it big and she'll make money. And I
Or
mean,
were
it's kind
you
of like
thinking
almost
to yourself? Were you
prostitute.
like? Were you? Is it because like you didn't fully trust yourself? Was it like I'd better stop this here, man? I like don't know where this
Oh,
might go.
I
I'm only
had
joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
no, but yeah, but I said the reality is the second they offered it to me, I was just like, I
Are we
mean,
still on YouTube now? Are we still live on YouTube?
oh yeah,
Okay, good. I'll remember. I'll just bet that.
no, I talk about the stuff. I
Just
mean,
so I don't say that. No, just because I was. Just so I don't say the wrong thing, man. It's like, yeah.
oh no,
Just
but a
so I'm
lot
not
of the
too honest.
well, I mean, I've been on YouTube for 13 years and all that, and the reality is that the fact we've been live for it's been like 2 hours and 3 minutes. I
It's
mean, the
actually been
reality
longer
is,
than
unless is it 3 hours
because
or is it two
I
hours?
like, I think because I came out. Oh no, well actually yeah. Was it when I left?
No, I'm
Okay,
two
maybe
hours
so.
and 4 minutes now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
Sorry,
but
yeah.
see, the reality is, as far as analytics and looking at stuff, unless it's something that's a topic that's consistent for the whole stream, they're not gonna. I mean, yeah, it's. I've done a lot of these panels, and we've had really religious and all kinds of like even
Deep.
talking about even talking about guns and all that sort of stuff. And once I put on
Is the YouTube chat saying in it much about this recent part of our conversation?
no, I haven't even seen. There hasn't been a chat since 10:20.
Oh, that's important. We're slipping under the radar, you know, under
Well,
the
no, there's
radar.
been 7 or 8 people in here the whole time. But they're obviously listening to our conversation. But
Well, I think
we're,
if I'd have been in your shoes, man, I'd have, I'd have had to, because it's money at the end of the day. I'd have had to accept the work, and I just said, as long as she's accompanied by one of you, yeah.
oh no, I mean no, no. I mean, my first thought was I was just like flabbergasted. I'm like, what? Why would you even offer your 13-year-old daughter?
You know what? Maybe they didn't really understand like what you
No,
lingerie
no, I would
meant.
no,
Maybe they thought it was just like bra and panties, like standard stuff.
well, even that. I mean, hello, even bra and panty or whatever to
Yeah, I know.
offer up.
I wouldn't really, would ideally, you don't really picture. Oh, I want my daughter to go and do that. It's like, yeah. I don't know. It's odd. Well, maybe was it paid? Was it like
No, it was
money?
all no. They
What do you
just
think?
wanted
Like,
to. No, they
was it
just
because do
no.
you think they wanted her to become like a supermodel or some shit like that? I
Yeah,
think that what was in
yeah,
their head.
yeah. That's what it. That's sort of the mentality of it in what I saw because they were kind of the whole time they're in there. Because like I
Was
said, at the time I'd been there 5 years. I was kind of known. I was making money, but and she was in the fashion world or wanted to get into it, and I was just like, this is just so wrong. Like, why would you
that's
even?
the business you were in, mate?
I
Did
know.
you think,
That's
am
just
I in the wrong business here?
yeah. That it was just sort of the thought of. I mean, obviously I still remember it. I mean, I had it for 11 years, and this is one of the memories that sticks
Yeah.
out the most in my mind. Of
If you had told me that story and said, it was just like a single mother with the daughter,
no,
I wouldn't have really been that surprised at all. But it like because yeah, single mothers like they don't. But normally when there's a dad around, like nah, man, there's more
no, mom,
rules.
dad, it was her, and she had like I think her younger sister was like 7 or 8 or whatever, but they were just talking about the fact that the whole time they're talking her up, like, oh yeah, she's been doing some modeling, and we're doing photos for her, and she wants to do this and that, and I mean, the whole time they were there, it was sort of
Did
the
they have a portfolio?
they didn't have with them,
Oh. Well,
but
that's
it
fucking
was
no use, is it? What the fuck's the point of that?
well, no, but it was the fact that at the time I was known and I did fashion shows, and everyone kind of know who self clothing was in this small, slow town.
See, I'd have been like, well, come back, let me see the portfolio, and I'll consider it.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Every model I shot, every model I did was over 18. Actually, no, there was one. She was 17, almost 18. She was a high school, but yeah,
But
I
if you
didn't
think
want.
about it,
I
if
didn't want
that
any part
girl,
of
if
that.
that 14-year-old girl already had a portfolio,
I
she
didn't
would
want
be,
anything to do with
there
it.
must have been photographers who were taking those shots, unless it was her mum and dad, taking those shots for the portfolio, which
Yeah, but
would probably.
I didn't want to go there. I didn't want anything to do with it. I mean, I was just like, no, I'm not gonna shoot your 13-year-old daughter for lingerie photos. I'm sorry. It's just
No, that's
just
cool. So I don't know.
yeah, I said it was so misguided. But I could totally see, you know,
The brand, that's
some
a
other
brand, isn't it?
photographer. Huh?
Sorry, you said misguided, and that's a fashion line, isn't it?
No, I'm just saying just their
No,
mentality
there's
of
a, there's a there's a brand of clothing
is there
called
one called
Misguided.
misguided?
Yeah,
Really?
you don't know
I
that. Yeah,
I know there's one
you've
called
been
like
out of the game too long, maybe, bro. Yeah,
yeah, I haven't been in
Misguided.
since 2009. There is one called what? Rich and Broke or Famous and Broke or something like that.
I don't know, man.
No, but I was just like I said that was one of the ones where it was like, really, what kind of industry am I in? I mean, I
I
mean,
know. And the fact is, if you'd have got successful, I mean, like really successful, well, I
I would have.
suppose in a way you wouldn't have had to deal with it yourself because you could have to other people and just, but you'd have known it was going on
Right, but
because it would be on your.
I would have had standards. I would have had standards, and I would have never ever used a model that was.
But that's successful because, like, I remember this documentary I watched when they asked these like the
Yeah,
scouts, you know, the talent scouts and all that. Why are you picking all young? And they just kept, basically they're just saying, oh, it's like because they have you have to have it to have this certain body type to fit in, and it looks, you know, because of the framing of the picture and all these
right.
technical details. They're basically like it just has to be that way, like you know. Like it doesn't, it's not about the age. They're saying like, you know, if you happen to have an 18-year-old that fits all those things, then fine. But so you
Yeah,
have to, I suppose, do this to rise to the top, don't you? Maybe you have to. I
yeah, but I had
presume.
to. I have standards. I'm like, no. I said the youngest person I ever shot, she was 18. Or she was 17, senior. She was like 2 months before, and I think she's the only person I ever used in any sort of image I used for advertisement, and she was in one of my fashion shows and that.
What was this, like a
But she
lingerie,
was like,
like a sexy shot? Yeah.
no, just in my shows wearing, dresses and that sort of stuff.
But what
But
you wouldn't have had a
yeah,
problem like just wearing normal clothes, like a teenager modeling for just normal clothes, right?
n- uh, not for the high end kind of stuff I
Yeah,
did.
exactly,
I
because
just,
they're not the target. They're not going to be buying that shit, right?
yeah, I just didn't think it was appropriate to shoot somebody at that age. I mean,
Well, if you're saying high end, I don't know what you mean by high end, but if it's like, you know, like over 500, you know, 500 plus for, I don't know, a top or whatever, then that's generally not kids, you know, that's adults. The
yeah,
target audience is adults. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't charge that much, but I don't know. I just never felt it was appropriate to
All right,
even
you've
that girl
made the
that,
point. Yeah, I get it. You've made the point that
yeah,
you don't think it was appropriate. You've done. It's okay. You've done that. It's a record
yeah,
has been made. Don't worry.
that's why I failed. But another
Oh,
funny story. Here's a really
yeah.
funny one, and I've told this one over and over. There was a girl that came in with her little sister, and in my store in the back, I had all kinds of photographs, right? Like all 8x10s all over the wall. I had like an 18-foot ceiling just covering the whole thing. And her sister came in, who was like, I don't know, she was like 16, 17, whatever. But she was in the dressing room trying stuff on. And her little sister was probably like 7 or 8. And I was at the sewing machine actually making something, and she was sitting there and she's looking at all the pictures, and she saw, are these all your clothes? And I'm all, yeah. And then she's looking at the wall again. She's looking at it for a while, and she goes, turns to me and goes, "Did you take all these photos?" And I'm all, yeah. And I could kind of tell, like her mind was going somewhere, right? And so she looks again. She's looking around. And all of a sudden, she turns to me and goes, "You've seen lots of boobies, huh?" I was just like, and out of the fitting room, her sister's like, "What did you just say?"
What the fuck? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Oh God.
it was so, I mean, just the classicness of, out of mouth of babes. Just seeing the whole process of her like
Yeah.
working it through her mind.
It's a
And
classic
then her
lie
last,
a kid would come out of as
it's a
well. And you
classic.
see it, kids, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for you,
Yeah.
if that
She's
was
turning
me,
to me and went,
I'd have been like, fuck, because I've been thinking, what does her sister think? Like, you know, she just heard that. What does her sister think? Like, You know, she might be
Yeah,
thinking
but
that I
that
said
was,
something beforehand. Do you know what you know what I mean?
no, she was there the whole time. The sister, the dressing room
So
was right there. She heard the whole process just like I
that's
did. But it was like that's one of my best memories ever. The fact that she said that to me. You've seen lots of boobies, huh? And I'm just like, and my response, yes, I have.
and what was it? Naked pictures on the walls, yeah.
No, it was just fun. It was just girls and all my clothing and all that. But she was just like, obviously,
Wow.
you know, if you're
Her
there,
brain
you're
really was ticking
changing.
over then if she put them two together, then she figured out they must have got undressed and then I
Yeah,
don't know.
undressed and dressed again. So that's why I said you could tell the whole process in her mind of where she was going with it, with the questions she asked. And there was like, a minute or two of her looking at the wall, and then the next question, and looking at the wall. And then the last one was, you've seen lots of boobies, huh? And I was just like,
So that reminds I can tell you a bit of a similar story. Yeah, this happened to me like a month or two ago, right? It's a little bit different because your story it sounds like you know she said that totally innocently, but well, I'll tell you this story basically. Yeah, there's this group of kids on this estate where I live. Yeah, and you know there must be range from I don't know like fucking 9 to like you know
what is up, BBC?
14 or something.
Sorry, Leah comment.
Right. And they're really weird kids. Yeah. Anyway, basically, I was walking the dog. Yeah, and like every time I go past them in the past, they've always one of them. They like to say hello, which I find like weird because you know why are they? Do you know what I mean? But they're anyway. They say hello and ask you loads of questions and that, and it's just weird, right? But anyway, the other day, yeah, one of them calls out to me. He goes, "Excuse me, sir, can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go on then." And there was a bit of like a pause, yeah. And then this like little fucking mixed race girl, yeah, who's about 10, like
Yeah.
says something, and I didn't catch what she said, and I go, "Sorry." And she looks at me like a little pause and like goes, "I love you, daddy." And she's like 10 years old. And they've obviously what I think they'd like dared her to say this, do you know what I mean? All her
Um,
friends had like dared her to say this shit. But my God, I felt it was like shocking, man. I felt almost like a bit, you know, I was like, Jesus Christ, and just walked away. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, fuck, oh God, it was like it was weird, man. Because and it kind of pissed me off and angered me as well afterwards because I was like, you know, that girl, man, she don't even know what she's fucking, you know, she doesn't probably, well, her friends, I suppose, are to blame, man, you know.
sorry, I accidentally took myself out. I was I was trying to paste something in here. I don't know what I hit. Yeah, yeah. That's like that's the same thing. It's like what? What did you just say?
I know, man.
It's like no, but see, a lot of it, like when I had my fast show, a lot of stuff is like I just sort of, I guess I had too much of a conscience
Yeah.
to be a sort of that sort of guy, creepy, shooting like 13, 14-year olds for his clothing store kind of guy. When I when I didn't do kids clothing, I mean,
Fuck.
it's
Oh,
like this is a little
fuck.
creepy. I don't want to go there.
Oh, man, that's just made me think, like, God, there must be like, oh, I suppose, God, people out there that have just set up like a kids' clothing line just so they can like be a pervert or something. Oh, yeah, fuck, Christ.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that yeah. Oh yeah, that's out there. Trust me. Perverts that are just doing it to shoot younger girls.
I don't know, man. I think like, 18, that's, deal with 18, man, innit? That's 18. It's good enough, innit? You know,
Well, it's
girls look good when they're 18, man. You don't have to go no younger for fuck's sake.
yeah, it's statistically legal. I mean, they're still naive, but
Well,
And
yeah, I wouldn't want to marry one, but you know,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty, yeah, not so mature as they think they are at that point. They're
oh
easily
yeah,
manipulated, say that, compared to when they're like 30, you know?
yeah,
Yeah, it's just like I said, I've been in such weird, obscure, like, worlds that a lot of people, like, never experience. And, and, now the fact that I'm actually doing clothing, I mean, doing fishing shows and baits, everyone's like, what? We're,
so you come full circle, man.
yeah, but it's always been there.
But you know, you can't live the fucking fast life forever, can you?
Right.
Because it
I
get
slowed
boring.
down. Well, I slowed down. I mean, I slowed down around, it's around 40. At your age, yeah, I was still skateboarding and riding ramps and DJing
Nice.
and
Such a typical
fast,
Californian,
fast
like
living.
very active lifestyle, creative,
Yeah,
artistic. It's like the archetypal Californian.
yeah. It's so weird though. Oh, Andre came in. Like, my friend Andre came in. He's my same age. Life tends to humble people eventually. No, I was always humble. Anyway, I was young and all that. I was still humble. He's the one that broke me down on live. Sorry,
It
Andre.
broke you down.
Well, he brought up the whole humble thing, and that led to a bunch of other stuff that led me to be becoming extremely emotional on my live stream.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Nothing against him. It was just the time and the place.
It was probably, waiting for years, to come out. It's got to come out eventually, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's something that I've dealt with for since 1986 when my father died. But um, yeah, it was
When
just,
who died, sorry?
huh?
When who died, sorry?
My father.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, yeah. Yeah, I know what that's like, yeah.
Well, this is so weird, and I've had such a great conversation with you, and you showed up because you thought I was a music channel.
Yeah, man,
Isn't
yeah,
that
I've
weird?
had a good time too, man.
Yeah, but isn't that weird? It's like talking about complete, total random meeting that you're like, you looked up live, saw Thunder Coast bass,
Yeah, man.
and hit the link,
Yeah,
and now we've had this really extensive, really cool conversation.
that's how it should be, right?
Well, that's how I always met people when I went out. Go to a club and meet people that are just tourists from some other country, and end up talking to them for hours and hanging out with them and getting to know them. And
And especially when you know you're like not gonna probably ever see that person in real life or whatever, that makes it also easier to like, you can tell them things that you would only tell other people if you knew them like really a lot better, if they were actually in your life day to day, because you'd have to trust them. But if it's, someone you never get that's not involved in your life, you can trust them a bit more, maybe open up a bit more, maybe.
Oh no, no. If I was like a big huge YouTube channel and I had tons of money, I'd definitely come over and film videos with you.
Well, sweet,
I
man.
would be
Well,
like, this is a cool mate. I just met him, but I'm gonna get on a plane tomorrow and I'm gonna go over there and guys, I'm gonna do a fun show.
that'd be like, I'd struggle to keep up with you, man. You'd want to go to all the like fucking nightclubs in London and shit. I'd like, oh,
Oh,
I'd be like having a heart attack, man. You'd be outpacing me. I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I love going live. I love going live on location, just being random and just it's just a lot of fun. Just not having any idea who you're gonna meet, what their story is, meeting them, capturing it for that little bit of snippet of time.
Right.
And that's why I go live at the wharf. I started doing that about 6 months ago here. And I meet people. I mean, it's Monterey. There's people from like all over the world, France, Germany, everywhere.
At a bar or something.
Yeah, it's all just, and I just randomly say, hey, can I ask you a few questions, and end up talking to them, and that's just sort of the whole thing. And even Smelly that was on here earlier, she's someone like that too. She just showed up, and I don't even know
How
how.
long have you known her for, man?
Oh, she's been on my live for like, it's been like, I don't know, only the last like 2 weeks maybe that she's been on my panels. So
Is she always what's she like when she's sober?
pretty much same way.
Oh Christ. Jesus.
She's even when she's in her apartment and that, and just shows up, and she's just that person. Extravagant stories, just swears a lot and apologizes. you know, she's just like,
She just can't help it, man. You can't take the New York out of her, I guess.
no, she's just that person. I mean, tonight's the first time she's ever been on here where she was down there and doing some drinking and that sort of thing. But no, she's just like me. It's like you meet
She
him and
hasn't called back in, man, so I'm guessing she got picked up by some dude probably, man. She didn't
no,
call back.
no, she's married with kids.
Oh,
Yeah, no, she's married with kids. Her son's actually in prison for something that she talked about him on my previous lives.
oh dear, well,
Wrong place, wrong time. Wrong
shit.
place, wrong time, and he did the time. One of those type of
Guess
deals.
so. He must have been present, or present at some kind of incident. Yeah, I can guess what type of thing.
Yeah.
We have these
She
laws
said,
over here now. They're called joint enterprise laws, where, yeah, if you're, in a group of people and one of them, stabs someone or whatever, you can sometimes, yeah, you can be done for murder, even if you
yeah,
had, you were just
yeah,
a friend of one. Yeah, it's kind of mad.
association.
Mm. But there's people doing time for murder when they haven't fucking killed anyone.
Right. Yeah. And the person that actually killed him had a good lawyer and they got off. So, and that's sort of her
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, yeah. That happens, I'm sure.
Well, there's actually one I saw. There was a guy. There was a guy that was near a guy that had a confrontation with somebody, and the guy went over and said, took off his jacket and went over and handed the guy his jacket and said, you know, can you hold this for a sec?
Yeah.
So he held his jacket, and then the guy went over and like beat the shit out of the guy. And
Oh my
he
God.
actually he actually ended up getting arrested and doing time for being an accomplice because
He was holding his
he,
jacket.
yeah, he held his jacket. Like so
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
And you could see to a jury that might you could they might think that yeah, because in a like a struggle or a fight, you might end up losing it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
but yeah, but he didn't physically hurt the guy. He didn't do anything, but he just held the guy's jacket because
No. You couldn't fuck me,
but he
honestly.
didn't, whatever. He didn't intervene. He didn't say no. He didn't like turn and run away. He held the guy's jacket, so he actually ended up doing jail time for being an accomplice for just
The
he didn't know what
the
the guy was
system
gonna
is quite
do.
ruthless in America, isn't it? You know, because you've got these like, and they're starting to be introduced over here now, like the private prisons where they're managed by private companies. It's not the government. Do you know what I mean? It's not run by the state. It's
Yeah, and
licensed
it's a
out
money
to
making.
private. Yeah. So, and guarantee you, man, there's going to be judges out there that have like shares in these fucking companies, these prison
Right.
companies or whatever.
Exactly.
And it's in their interest to
Yeah,
lock up as many people as they can.
exactly. It's all money. It all goes back to connections and making money off it. It's like it's an enterprise that's a prison, but it's privately owned.
The American way.
And yeah, and and anyway, they're privately owned. They get funding from the government for being a prison or whatever. So
Oh yeah, they're paid by the government pays the bill. Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
so the more people they get in, the more the more they go. Oh, well, we held
And yeah, and they
40,000
cut
prisoners last year.
they'll cut everything they can in the prison, any like rehabilitation services, on the food, everything, so they can make more
More
profit.
profit. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like
yeah,
that one sheriff in like where like somewhere like Texas or some bullshit, some one of those kind of places where he like prides himself that he has like the cheapest fucking food. It's like 1 cent a pound or something. He like brags about how dog food is more expensive and all this, and he makes them sleep out in like tents outside. It's basically just to make it the cheapest operation that he could, and he's like so proud of it and all this. He's a scumbag. It's like Sheriff Arpeggio or some shit
yeah.
like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
You heard of that guy? Yeah?
scams are scams.
Well, I don't know if it's a scam.
Well, it's high profit for yeah. It's wrong no matter what.
Well,
Ethic.
it's not. It's capitalism at its finest, I guess. It's most
Right,
ruthless.
right. Yeah, that's sort of the. It's like you said. If I want to be a good comment, I probably could have been a really good con man, but I have morals and standards, so I never went. That's not the way that my mind works. I want to do it legit, and that often screws me financially because I want to do it legit.
Well,
Same thing
I
here.
think I don't think it's like immoral to like certain. If you can get away with like bending the rules, there's a lot of rules and regulations out there that
Yeah,
it's not
but
immoral to
even on
break. Do you know
YouTube,
what I mean?
but the way that I title my videos and the way that I do my thumbnails, I would probably be more successful if I was more kind of clickbaity and dishonest within the way. But I always back away from it and title it something that's more truthful.
You
And
shouldn't bother because it's almost kind of expected now. Like the amount of times now, I'm actually more shocked when the video is what the title actually says it is.
I know.
It's almost
Uh,
like it's accepted now. Like kind of, it's a
Yeah,
thing.
and I've started to get better at it, and just saying, you know what, fuck this. Why am I not getting more views and all that? Just because I'm feeling more humble
The
about it.
title can be very important if it's like something if it's like an on-trend topic and you pick a very good title. Then I remember back in like 2011 when there were some riots here in London. You know,
Yeah,
yeah. Anyway, there was some riots with the ghetto type people in the ghetto areas. You know what I mean. And well, no, it was everyone. It was white, black, brown, everything. Anyway,
right.
I've like filmed a little bit of this outside a shop, yeah, and I gave it like quite a nice little title. I thought it was a great title, and I know for a fact if I'd have uploaded that with a lesser title, it wouldn't have got. But it got like over like 500,000 views or something like that, about half a
Wow.
million views, man. And do you know what? 500,000 views of one video, and I've still only got like 500 subs. Mad, isn't it? It's like that shows how hard it is to get subs. But to be honest, it's not that surprising because that video. There's a lot of channels like that. You must have seen channels like that where there's a video, you see a video, and it's got like 1 million views or something. You click it on it,
And
and you
it's
just
shit.
scroll down and look at the. Well, no,
Yeah.
no, not even whether it's shit or not. Well, yeah, it can be shit, or even if it's good. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that like this person will still have like 100 subs or something, and it's like. But
Yeah.
that will happen where if the video is completely to one-off, it's not related to the channel in any way. It's people know there's not going to be ongoing content about this topic and that. So why would they subscribe? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Well, I had one. I did just recently. I did two videos that were about it's a fishing world. This guy called Mike Long in California. He has records for big fish and all that. And some guy exposed him because he caught him on film snagging the bass off of
What
the
does that?
nest and that, and actually hooking him. And so I did two videos on
Hang
it.
on. What does that mean? I don't understand. What do you mean?
Well, instead of like actually spending the time when they're on the nest, they're guarding it. Instead of spending the time to try to get him to eat a bait, he was
Yeah.
just throwing out a treble hook
Right.
and waiting for him to get close, and then just yanking and snagging him. And so
Hang
I
on.
did,
So are you just saying he just put the hook in the water without bait? What's wrong with
yeah,
that?
without a bait.
That's not nothing wrong with that. If anything, that's making it harder for him, isn't it? Isn't the bait there to attract the fish?
No, 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 because he was sight fishing, which means those big females were spawning, so they were on the nest. So he could see them. He knew they were there.
Oh, so he went to. Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So he was, yeah. And I don't
And
know
is that
why.
frowned upon in the fishing community? Yeah.
Yeah, hugely. Um, well, I got one of them got like 5,000 views. The other one got like 3,000 views. 100 and something thumbs down compared to 20 thumbs up. 90% of the
Mm,
comments, there was like 100 and some comments. All the comments were negative and saying that I was a
yeah.
piece of shit. And they were saying I was defending this guy. How you defend him? And I was just saying, who's this guy that spied on him for 2 years to get this footage?
Uh,
How vindictive is he that he wants? So everybody took it as I was like his buddy and I was like promoting him and I was all for snagging big bass and everything and blah, blah, blah.
uh,
I ended up getting 20 new subscribers from that video.
from the hate. I
Those
know
two
it's
videos.
crazy. Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah, no, there were, I mean,
It's mad.
anyway, 90% of the people that left comments and everything hated me and said I shouldn't have a YouTube channel and blah, blah, blah. 20 people saw that I was just putting up my opinion of it, and then I gained a lot of subscribers from it. So,
Oh right, yeah, yeah,
and I knew when I did it. I knew when I did it because there were a lot of videos beforehand
yeah.
that were this guy's a piece of shit. This guy deserves to be like hung. Taking it that, and mine was sort of taking it to the side of the guy that that spent the time to expose him and like,
Yeah.
what did he steal his girlfriend? Did he sleep with his wife? Why does this guy want to take this guy down? Well, and so it was just yeah, but 20 people sided with me evidently and said,
You must have been the only calm voice in the comments. If everyone's just screaming and shouting abuse and that, and you were like, "Hang on, slow down. Think about this
yeah,
logic."
no. Some of the some of the comments, I mean, of the 20 that were positive, I think I had some that said, finally, a calm reality voice about this whole situation. Love your opinion. Love the fact that you made this video. And I mean, I said it was very few. It was like 100 and something to 20, 20 likes to like 100 and something dislikes on both these videos. Everyone just like hated me for it. Like, just scrutinized me. People said, your show sucks and I'll never watch your videos again, and you shouldn't even be allowed to fish, and you can't call yourself a bass fisherman, and how could you
Christ.
side with this guy? Like, who is it? Is he your buddy? I bet you cheat. You probably cheat in tournaments. Yeah, you probably never caught a bass legally in your life. This and that. I mean, everyone just like freaking, you know, just negative, just horrible, horrible. Even my avid subscribers and people that watch me ever like, you should take this video down. You should take this video down. I'm like, no,
No,
I
if it's
knew.
what you believe, then fuck it.
Yeah, it's my opinion. I never said I like this guy. I never said what he was doing was honorable or anything else.
Yeah.
I was just kind of taken to why this guy
Someone was
spent
out to
so
get him and is bound to,
yeah,
if you look in
that was
someone's
my
life
whole
forever,
process.
someone's going to do something wrong one day, aren't they?
Right. That was my
He
whole
might
process.
not have even known that it was like the breeding grounds or whatever. It might have been a mistake.
No, I mean he knew what he was doing, and he's cheated in tournaments, he's done other stuff than that, but that wasn't the focus of my video. The focus of my video was, why was this guy so enamored to take this guy down? Because he knew once he put up that video with this guy's reputation and everything, it would destroy him. And it did. He took down all of the guy Mike Long that I'm talking about, that was known as the Big Bass King and all that. He took down all his Instagram. He deleted his YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah.
He was obviously hugely, and that was just my sort of process within this video. But everybody said that I was a Mike Long lover, and you probably cheat. You probably don't even know how to catch fish. You probably just snag them. You can't, why even representing the bass world? It's just like everybody tore me down just
Well, I
because I
guess
brought
that
that
guy
to it.
must have been really jealous of him or something, man, right?
Well, yeah, because he had lake records on a lot of the California lakes and was featured in magazines with these big bass and everything. And evidently, he didn't necessarily catch them legally, and he would put other baits in their mouth and say, "Come on, this and that." So, I mean, yeah, the guy was a fraud.
Imagine
But
if he like he had his own like fish farm in his backyard, like his own like pond, and he was just farming really massive fish and taking them on the boat
well,
and
no, he did that too.
pretending that he caught them. Oh, no way.
Evidently, he did that too.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, he did that too. He had like tanks in his house, and he would catch a big bass at one lake and then take it to another lake, and then come in and say he caught it, so he could have the lake record at that. I mean, pretty much this guy Mike Long, yeah, he was basically a con artist and did all that. But I said that, and I said, yeah, it's wrong. It's probably not wrong. I mean, but that wasn't the focus. The focus was, why did this guy want to take him down so bad? And then I actually saw live on the guy that shot the video, and he explained it all. And I actually left a comment on it going, all right, well, I did a video about this. I got hated on everything else. But now that I've listened to you and you've talked about it and you knew him personally and everything, I understand that you did this, you know.
You were just making a point. You weren't like saying
Yeah.
this is I'm defending him for this reason. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. But
But
it got
then,
me 20
yeah.
it got me 20 new subs. So I mean,
But this is the thing. Like I'm a bit like this in like in real life in general. Like sometimes, you know, I sort of if I hear a conversation or like something, I just can't help myself like throwing in something. And it's like well, I don't really need to. Do you know what I mean? And it's like kind of probably know already beforehand people are going to assume that means I have a certain agenda, and really it's just I can't help myself but just like pointing out this one thing that I think everyone's
Right.
missed or whatever. But
and that's
yeah,
the way I am. Yeah, that's the way I am. I will always take the sort of position that nobody else is looking at.
play devil's advocate. That's what I
Yeah,
call
devil's
it.
and a lot of the comments, that's what they said. This guy's just playing. He doesn't believe it. He's just doing devil's advocate so he can get views. He's just saying that he's, you know, and that wasn't really.
But you end of the day, man, all this people when people moan about like trying to get views, so what? Like what's wrong with trying to get views? And if you're already doing fishing videos, you have a right to do that because it's not like you're just jumping on it because you know what I'm saying. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. God,
I've been on YouTube
to get some fucking views.
Yeah, I've been on YouTube for 13 years. It's like this wasn't my first video. It was almost my 1,000th video, 900.
You know, the hilarious thing is, like,
video
recently, quite a few times actually, yeah, like, where I've had a few sort of like boring days where I haven't really had much to do, to be honest, yeah. So I've been like, God, for some reason, like going in the comment section a little bit, yeah. And a few times now on videos that are like anything to do with politics, if I can't even remember like what the points are, but I've made a little point in the comments, and I've been like actually accused of being like a Russian troll or a Russian bot over like really kind of like nothing little comments. Yeah, and I remember now that was it. I remember I said something and I ended it with like mate. I said blah 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 mate, which is it's just like buddy or whatever, yeah. And this guy responded. He goes, no one ever says mate online. You're obviously a Russian troll. And I was like, would a Russian, if no one uses mate online, how the fuck would a Russian troll think of saying the word fucking mate? Do you know what I mean?
My friend Ozzy, who's from Australia, he always comes in, good day, mate. Hello, mate. He always says mate.
Good day. Yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
the Canadians say it a bit more, like sometimes too, a bit more than Americans, right?
Oh yeah,
is
but
that
I mean,
right?
the Australians,
do Canadians say mate?
Yep. Canadians say mate a lot. Australians say mate a lot. New Zealand say mate a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't think somebody's a Russian bot just because they said, hey, mate. See you later, mate.
I know.
Well, no, the funny thing
is,
it's
just crazy, isn't
it? Well, somebody called me somebody left a comment during that Mike Long one, and somebody called me a Californian libertarian. But then the comment before that, somebody called me a Trump supporter. So it's
exactly, like, classic.
I know. The guy goes, I like that one person calls you a Trump supporter and the other one calls you a California libertarian. It's like totally
such specific. The California one as well, like California, that's a proper like almost like he had you down as like a fucking like a race of people almost, you know, like a subgroup, like a, you know, your own ethnic group, you know, a
Yeah, well,
California.
the fun thing is a lot of the comments about that Mike Long thing, and it was all targeted towards that I was in California and my obviously political or mindset because I was from California. Like my thought process for making this video was because I was a, oh, you're from California, you're a libertarian. You're from California, you're this. You're from California, you're that. It's like they just assumed all this stuff about me. Like,
Which even if you were or you weren't, like I swear, like would have nothing to do. Like I doubt, you know, you brought
yeah,
politics into it. How does this?
that's what I said. It was.
Uh,
I even said that in some of the comments back to him. I'm like, funny how one video I post out of almost 1,000, and you suddenly know everything about me, know how I think, know exactly. I mean, you
they
haven't
got you
watched.
sewn up. They got you sewn up. You must be. You're an open book. You
Yeah,
know.
you haven't watched my 900 and some previous videos. You've just seen this one video, and suddenly you know everything about me. You know exactly who I am. You know exactly how I think. You know exactly. So it was kind of, for me, it was really interesting psychologically to watch the comments and people's reactions to this video. For me,
Sometimes I think we have to like bear in mind a lot of these type of comments. We have to always remember, like, because anyone can go on YouTube any age, and it's a lot of these comments are probably, you know, like 13, 14-year-old kids when they've just learned about this word libertarian or something, and they're just desperate to use it like that kind
right?
of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And one guy
They've
was really
just
funny.
started to know a little bit about life, and they think
One of the
no,
comments, one of the comments was really funny because there was a guy that came on and he went, I've been watching your videos for years, and I just want to tell you, your videos suck. You're the worst fisherman I've ever seen on YouTube.
was that before the Mike Long video or after?
No, this was on the like Mike Long video.
Oh, so it was because of that. Okay.
Right. And you know what my comment back was? Because he said, oh, and in it he said, yeah, I've been watching for years. I never really comment, but I just want to say, your videos suck. You're the worst fisherman I've ever seen on YouTube. You need to give up. You're nothing. My comment back to him, good time to
What?
be
Your time to what?
good time to be brave.
Good time to be.
Because
Yeah.
all the comments were negative. And he said he read
Right.
the comments never, because mostly my comments are very positive.
So
And
he
so all of
never
a
wanted
sudden,
to be the odd one out, but now he's got
right.
some people
Yeah.
on side.
So
You
that was my
know.
response back to him. Good time to be brave. Because he just evidently hated me forever. But
Well, he obviously did. I don't think he did. He probably only must have just hated you because of the Mike Long thing. Because no one, like, I know we all do, yeah, like sometimes like love to hate people, you know, we like do hate a YouTuber, but we go and watch him sometimes or whatever. But not for 13 fucking years. Not for 13 years.
no, I have a lot of haters. For some reason, I have a lot of them are local that fish my local lakes that I always catch fish on and film at. And a lot of it's they think I'm ruining their lake
Because they don't want
because
to advertise, they want to keep it a little secret and that, innit?
yeah, that's the way most fishermen are. But that's sort of, and I mean seriously, dude, I will upload a video and I will go upload it to all my links like Twitter and Facebook and all that other stuff, and say it's like a 13-minute video. And that I take like 3 4 minutes to do that, and then I will go in and I have to go into my studio and that to add ads during it and all that. So by the time I go from there and go back in and go to that, and it's less time than the video is. Like it's a 14-minute video, it's been like 4 minutes. And I'll go in and I'll have like 2 dislikes. No likes yet, but 2 dislikes.
Yeah, the
And I'm
haters
like,
join first. They've got the notifications turned on,
yeah.
innit?
I'm like,
it's mad. It's mad. It's mad.
I'm like, it's been 5 minutes. The video's 14 minutes long. Like, I know you didn't watch it. You just saw that I uploaded. You hate me. You went in,
The haters are the
hit
biggest
dislike.
fans, man. It must be.
You went in, you hit dislike, and you're on to the next video. It's like, there's no way you watched it. It hasn't even been enough time for you to even watch the whole video.
But
You've
did you
watched like,
know dislikes, they don't negatively affect your video or anything. In fact, like they count just the same as like
right,
if you get
yeah,
a
it's
dislike, your video will be trending. Like it doesn't matter
yeah,
if it's
interaction.
which is kind of weird, isn't it? Like, what's the point of the dislike?
Well, no, it's YouTube making money. They know there's interaction, so they're going to promote it. I mean, I've seen videos with 1 million, 2 million views, and there's 5,000 likes and there's 5,000 dislikes. It's like a 50-50 ratio.
They're
Yeah,
usually Eminem videos. For some reason, like all Eminem videos are exactly like that.
yeah. I mean, it's
Not all of them,
YouTube's
but
trying to
a
make
lot.
money.
Uh,
Well, YouTube's trying to make money. I mean, if it gets reactions, get response, it shows up more. It's just the analytics. I
yeah.
mean,
I suppose there is a point to it because you can. It's clear to everyone what the public's opinion on it was. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's that's just it. I try to explain that to people all the time. They're like, there's so many videos that like, if you watch a video and it has like 42 likes and 0 dislikes, and it's had like 100 views, I'm like, all right, they're coming from grow channels. They're coming from that sort of stuff. It's it's not organic. It's not people just randomly. It's people playing the game and going in and like, if you don't get dislikes on your videos, then you're actually doing something wrong. Because even any popular video, no matter who it is, even Mr. Beast, anybody, they might have 10,000 likes, but they still might have 500 dislikes.
Yeah, but if you've only got like 42 likes, that's all probably from like that person's subscribers. So
Right.
until
Yeah.
that, unless that video goes, obviously someone like fucking, you mean like LA Beast, yeah? Cool. Like, you ain't got to be his subscriber to see his videos. That shit gets recommended. So
Right.
yeah, there'll be dislikes on that. Like, yeah, I don't, yeah, I just disagree there, man. I don't think it's necessary. But
That's funny you brought up LA Beast because
why?
you can actually pay him to get rated on your lives.
Oh, that's probably a lot of money, man.
Yeah, I learned that from somebody on my stream and that actually knows him. But
Oh,
yeah, because he'll go live and get like 2, 3, 400 people in his live,
yeah.
and then he'll raid some other like random weird small channel. But you can actually pay him. That's like
I like that guy.
his
He's
side.
crazy, man. He does deserve his views, man. He does some.
Right, but LA Beast, yeah, I just sort of disrespect him because I know that he's doing this little side thing where you can
Oh,
pay
so
him
you
and
mean?
he
Oh, so
will.
he doesn't advertise that. That's like an insider. You got. Oh, I see what you mean. So it's meant to be like
That's what
a
I've
secret.
heard.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I've heard from somebody was on with mine that knows him, and he said you can. And I went, yeah, right. That's probably just. He goes, no, I like. He was very serious about everything else. I believe him because I've seen him raid people, fishing channels, and that absolutely no way he, he would have raided them. I mean, they're so obscure and don't go live much, and all of a sudden he gets an LA Beast raid, and suddenly he gains like 300, 400, 500 subscribers, and all these people
Yeah.
come onto his live, and I'm like, that seems really highly unlikely. And then my friend said, "Oh no, you can." It's kind of a side business, is what I hear that he will do for people.
I see. I bet
So
it's not cheap though, man, because he's probably got enough money anyway.
yeah, but still, I mean, if you're getting that extra money here, extra money there, or you can
I
kind of
guess.
slide in with.
Well, he is that type. He is that. He's got that kind of. He's an incredibly motivated person, man. So yeah, he'd be going all out, wouldn't he? Everything he can do. You know, you or me would probably be more the type of person. Once we know we're comfortable. Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit like, if I've got enough money there, like if I know I could, if I just like run down the road, I could get like extra. There's a 50 quid. Sometimes I can't be bothered, man. And fuck it.
Yeah,
But Mr. Beast,
that's just
he'd
what I've
run down
heard.
the road for a fucking penny, man.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just what I've heard. I don't know. That's just the hearsay from somebody that told me that, and I saw a raid on somebody that I'm.
That might even be a scam from the person that told you that, mate. Because unless you can DM him himself and say, "Yeah, we're going to do this," which is he's unlikely to do because that could be
Right.
leaving him open to getting exposed by screenshots and shit. It could be a scam if someone's saying, "Oh, yeah, I know him. Give me this money." Like, I wouldn't trust that unless I knew the person very well, like in real life.
I don't know. I just saw the raid to happen. I actually watched it when it happened, and I'm like,
What were
this
you
is
in the
such
fishing
an.
channel? Were you in the fishing channel or in
Yeah,
Beast?
it's a kid that's 17 that, and he was very into going to all the grow channels and all the live and that, and I don't know. He was just kind of on his channel, and he just the whole time he's like, "Well, I just want to know if this. I want to know if Mr. Beast's gonna raid me. I'm just looking for a Mr. Beast raid. Yeah, I'm just looking for." And all of a sudden, Mr. Beast did a raid.
Oh yeah, okay. Maybe there is something to it then. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was talking about like halfway into the live and all that he was just suddenly out of nowhere with a channel that doesn't have 900 subs or what. He was just like, yeah, I'm just waiting, like this Mr. Beast guy. I'm just waiting. I think he raids people. I'm waiting for a raid, and then guess what? All of a sudden,
There he pops up.
and he's never had a raid since from him, and he's
Yeah.
goes live all the time. So I don't know. It just seems a little
And how many actual subs did he get out of that in the end?
hundreds,
Yeah, oh, that's not bad.
and a lot of people I saw in the comments said, "Yeah, I subbed to you, but I'm waiting till you get a lot some more content and all that before I actually watch your videos, this and that."
Yeah,
So I
literally,
mean,
like some of those subs they'll literally just be doing it because they're like die hard, old, so like loyal to they love Mr. Beast so much they'll just do it to
right,
like
and that's
please
basically
him.
what.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you watch the live and you watch the way that for some reason it's just weird because suddenly during that live the whole time he's saying, "I'm just waiting for a Mr. Beast raid, and I'm really hoping I get it," and all of a sudden Mr. Beast raids him, like, and he's such a small channel and doesn't have many videos and everything. And then this
Yeah.
friend told me about that, and I'm kind of like, that kind of makes sense because it seemed too anticipated
Oh
for
yeah,
the
man.
first
What
like
if
20,
he's saying what the
30 minutes.
actual guy who runs the channel was like, oh, Mr. Beast might pop up. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Unless they're
I
actually like
mean,
YouTube
seriously,
friends, they may like I don't know, unless they are like fucking Mr. Beast like DM'd him or some shit. Who knows? I mean,
Oh, trust me, this 17-year-old kid that's doing his channel, there's no way this guy just randomly. I
the
mean,
thing is,
he would
if
more
LAB,
likely.
if he's not into fishing, if he's not like a fishing fan, then yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
right.
Like, he's not. So
Well, that's what I said. I'm live and been live way longer than this kid. If Mr. Beast was likely to just randomly raid random people like that, he probably would have raided me at some time.
yeah,
But the fact this kid was saying it, going, oh no, I'm hoping to get a raid. I'm hoping to get a raid.
yeah, he
from
probably
Mr.
would
Beast.
have picked
And
someone that he
also,
thought deserved it. Like he's been grinding more and all that shit. Innit?
right. But if he's actually, running this little thing on the side where you can pay him to raid you,
Mm.
then
Can't blame him though. I guess can you?
it kind
Can't
of
blame
makes
him.
more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how's this random kid suddenly out of nowhere, one channel at a billion that gets like 20 views of video, 100 views of video, has like 2, 3 people in his lives on average, maybe 10, suddenly get a
Yeah.
Mr. Beast raid? And suddenly
Like
hundreds of people show up.
Christmas, all your Christmas is coming at once, isn't it?
Yeah. It just, I don't know, it just seemed a little fishy.
Bro, imagine a PewDiePie raid, man.
Oh God, yeah.
Imagine.
Does he go live? I don't think he even goes live. I've never
I
seen
don't. No, I
PewDiePie
don't
video.
think he does. But like, imagine if he did.
Yeah, I mean, I watch people I know from the fishing channel that go live, and they'll have 6, 7, 800 people in their live.
Oh damn. Do you know what? That's
So
the amount
I
of
don't.
when you have that many people in your life, bro. Have you seen the way the super chats pop off sometimes, man? Like, I'm telling you, some people like make
Oh yeah,
most of their money from the super chats, man.
yeah, that's a trend now, and that's I don't know.
And I swear down, people try and
I
like
think
outdo each other. Like one person
yeah,
donates, someone
it
else
gets to
wants
be
to
a
donate
competition.
more. It's jokes, man.
Yeah, it
It's
becomes
hilarious.
a competition.
And a lot of
Yeah,
these
it's
kids
hilarious, and
that's credit card.
they don't have any content. All right, man. Sorry to do this to you, but I'm gonna have to shut this thing down.
Oh, no worries, man.
Yeah, no, I'm at 1% on my battery, and
Oh shit, yeah, all right, man.
yeah.
Well, I'll probably
And
swing
sorry to everybody.
anyway another time, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm always live. I'm live all the time, so
Oh yeah, man. I'll
you
see
won't
you.
have problems finding me.
No, man.
You won't have problems finding me. Trust me. I go live like 6 days a week, so I'll be live tomorrow and the next day in the evening. And I might pop up with a panel. A lot of times later on in the afternoon, I pop up with a panel on that, even after I go live in the evening. So thanks
With
a
a
lot,
panel?
man. So good to meet you.
Yeah, man. You too. Have
Well,
a good
usually I
night.
go. Yeah, I often go live without a panel. It's just me when I'm fishing, and I can't deal with a panel. But yeah, dude, so glad you like randomly found me. This is great. And
It was meant to be.
yeah,
It was
dude,
meant to
join
be.
me again. Yeah,
Definitely.
join me when I have. Usually I have 5, 6 people on here in the panels. So
All right, man.
check
Cool.
in the next time. You seem like a really cool guy, and you're fun to talk to. You have a lot of ideas, and yeah, totally cool,
Cool, man.
man.
It's been dynamic.
All right,
See you later.
all right, I'm out.